we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Oh, who's ready? Who's prepared? Who's stoked? I'm stoked. Are you stoked? Get stoked. All right. So today, the plan today is to try to build ourselves a Luminary guide. So I'm going to pull this over. There's a lot of people. A lot of people want to play Luminary. A lot of people. I've heard from a lot of different people. A lot of people are talking about great builds, great characters, huge DPS numbers. I'm here to talk to you today about the Luminary, bringing luscious light to all of the wonderful Path of Exile players out there. Okay, that's a really bad impression. But anyway, that's what I'm here to do today. Okay? We are going to try and build a good build guide that has got multiple different stuff going on. Okay? Because here's what most build guides do. What most build guides do is, here we go, we can mute that. What most build guides do is they go, here is one build. Copy, pasta this build, and you'll, and you'll have a good time. In fact, I think I won't paint up for this. I won't paint. I'm declaring war. I won't paint. There we go. Let's do it so that way it doesn't break our eyes. Most builds do this. Okay, this is what they do. Where's my green? They go follow the straight line. Okay? If you follow line, you have good time. That's most build guides. Right? That's their purpose, by the way. I'm not taking a shot at build guides in general. That's the point. Right? Hey, welcome, Dave. It's good to see you. We're going to see how it goes. But this is the principle. If you follow the line, you'll have a good time. But with mercenaries, right, this is most guides, most builds, right, look like this, right? This is what mercenaries kind of look like, okay? Are you ready? Are we all ready? Here's what mercenaries look like. Well, you've got combatants, you've got many shot, you've got Wild Strike, you've got Molten Strike. Those are just a few of the ones that come to the top of my head. Then you've got these are all good, right? Attack based. Then you've got Blade Trapper, Shadow Ambusher. There's another miner. There's an explosive miner. There's my goodness. There's the Spellcaster one, right? What's the Void Sphere Witch? There's the Witch of Gigantification. There's the Absolution, Holy Priest guy. Oh, there's the Minion Striking guy. What is it? Holy Hammers guy. Right? All this stuff. Right? Hey, welcome, Villa. Better contrasts. Okay, we'll try and give you some better contrasts here. Then you've got many shot over here. You got Ice Shot, Vol Ice Shot, and the Toxicologist. And what else do you have for bows? You've got the Tornado Shot. Tornado Shot actually has a bow one as well. You've got Burning Arrow. You've got Lightning Arrow. You got all these different builds that can just do all this stuff. It's everywhere. Okay? Now, not every passive tree, coming back over to POB, not every passive tree is going to look the same for a build guide for builds, right? Because different build guides, specifically for mercenaries, we're building a mercenary build guide, trying to put as much info into this as we can. And not everybody is just going to go, what many people are going to say is, well, just build out Flame Link, and because Flame Link is so good, you just scale light radius, and you go life stacking so that way your flame link is big. But here's the thing. Not every merc scales best with flame link. Okay, so there's a best fallacy here that it's just like, well, it's automatically assumed that flame link is best. And then not every merc has to scale with flame link, meaning there are more than one way to build a mercenary and thereby a luminary, right? So what I want to do is I want to do like what Pox has done for RF. And that's a decade plus of experience, okay, from Pox. He is the godfather of RF, all right? He's got a website dedicated to it. He can answer every question about crafting, just like on the fly. He's incredible. I can't talk enough about Pox. And his hair. Everything about Pox is amazing. But what those of us who like mercenaries and like the playstyle of playing minions, which mercenaries are like souped up minions to the nth degree, those of us who like playing minions, what we need is a one-stop shop for all merc info, guides, options, discussion. Okay, we need a hub for that. As a community, that is a needed thing. By the way, if you're in chat, can you let me know if you can hear any of the game sounds in the background? I think they are. So if you can hear any of the in-game music, I'm trying to put in-game music in the background. Okay, so eventually I'm going to get over here to the actually in-game. So what we're going to do is we're going to level up a Scion today on one of my 2 PoE accounts. I've already got my main that's at like level 94, loving the Luminary playstyle, playing many shot. I've got probably 40 divs sunk into it. It's fantastic. It can take down Ubers. I just took down tier 17 bosses today, nightmare map bosses, whatever they're called. It can AFK Elder. It's fantastic. But there's a lot of players who are going to be asking, how do I start a Luminary? What do I do to play Luminary? Hey, I heard mercs are good. How do I play a merc? Good. Right? These sorts of questions. And a lot of new players are going to come in going, well, isn't a build guide just like this? Isn't it just this straight line? Isn't that all it is? Right? Isn't it just going this direction? And the answer is, right, like, no, it's not just this for the Luminary. Because you've got all of these different factors. Like, which merc you are playing is going to hugely impact your build. I'll just give you one brief example here. Okay, using the skill tree. So I just said not everybody's going to go Flame Link, right? Not everybody's going to go Flame Link. If you are playing a character, let's say, that is going, I don't know, you're playing something that's crit based, right? You're playing something that's crit based. You, as the player, are playing something that's crit based. And so you're like, hey, I'm going up here to Elemental Overload. I'm going to build out with some crit and do some things. Okay, but what if your mercenary was also going crit, right? If your mercenary is going crit, then, okay, you can't hear the in-game sounds. That's good to know. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. There we go. We'll see if that helps. We'll find out together, won't we? There we go. Hopefully that's coming through now. If you are going a mercenary that goes crit, like, where is it? Is it crit multiplier? Where's the multiplier? Is it over here? Where's Heartseeker? Heatseeker? Yeah, there you go. Annihilation. 50% increase spell critical strike chance. 15 to crit strike multiplier for spell damage. Well, you're going to use that as an anoint on your amulet that you're going to give to your merc if you're using a spell-based merc. You're not going to do that if you're playing Many Shot, right? You're not going to anoint an amulet and give it to your merc, right? If you are playing Destructive Link, right? Destructive Link, where are we? Here we go. Destructive Link. If you're going Destructive Link is all about giving maximum amounts of Critical Strike multi and Critical Strike chance to your merc. Like, it is becoming more and more common knowledge now that if you're going to go, who's it? Destructive Link, then you're going to go, oh, where is it? Is it T-R-Y? Yeah, Trepannin. You're going to go Trepannin because Trepannin has got a Critical Strike chance of 1,000%, right? That's a joke. It's 100%. But you're always going to crit, right? Well, what Destructive Link does is it gives your main hand crit strike chance to your merc, right? To your linked target. So, like, that's a completely different build. You're also using a two-handed mace, which means your character build is giving up quite a bit of player power, by the way. That's your offhand and your main hand that you are using just to build this thing in. So that's just like one quick example of this. Everyone is assuming, not everyone, many players are assuming this is just a straight line. You just go to Flame Link and you just scale up all of your life nodes, and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to search for life, and I'm just going to grab all the life and come down here and grab Blood Magic, and I'm going to grab all the life up here and reduce Critical Strike chance, and I can just build defensively everywhere. And that's the build. And that's all mercenaries are. I don't think that's the case. That's like saying all Righteous Fire is Chieftain. There's a number of different ways to play Righteous Fire on a number of different characters. Not just a number of different ascendancies, but a number of different characters. Right? So, this is what we want to build. We want to build a one-stop shop for different luminaries. This means we're going to pull from other people what other people have done. We're going to try and record some stuff in game here today to use for video footage. And we're going to try and compile things. So that way we are slowly building towards a luminary build guide. So there's a couple of different things that I've pulled up. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. Okay, feast your eyes on this. Okay. So this is my little outline of some table of contents. There you go. Make it so that way it's not quite so bright. Of like how to do this build guide, I think. Where we talk about acts 1 through 3, which is how to level pre-perma merc as a luminary, right? Players who are going to play a luminary for the first time are going to go, how do I level a scion? So there needs to be some explanation about that, right? Then there needs to be, hey, once you ascend, then what? Okay, I can have a permanent mercenary. Now what? Well, there's a bunch of info that's out there about that, right? You can target farm a perma mercenary in Act 3. You can, what is it? The Upper Scepter of God. You can farm your first perma mercenary. Which sort of perma mercenary are you looking for in the campaign? Because maybe that's different than what your endgame mercenary is going to look for. How can we help increase players' knowledge throughout the community about what is a good leveling merc and what are good leveling merc setups? Because maybe there's multiple, right? One of the things that got the most players frustrated over opening weekend, at least from what I read on Reddit, what I saw as I was streaming and talking with players, the number one thing that got people frustrated about luminaries was not having the merc that they saw other people using. And they're like, oh, I need to have that merc. So we as a community, we need to actually dispel the notion that there's only one type of merc that's good. And we need to dispel the notion that that even there's only one segment of mercs that are good, but probably each of the mercs are usable in their own way if you use them in a fashion that actually maximizes their abilities. I'm not saying there's not bad mercs. I'm not saying some mercs aren't better than others at different stages. I'm sure that is true. This is a grinding gear game, mechanic. There's going to be stuff that's trash. But can you build for a trash merc and make it better, make it passable, make it campaign worthy? Can you do that? How far can you go with that? So there's pre-perma merc, there's post-ascendancy farming, acts 3 through 5, where you've got your first guaranteed merc in the Upper Scepter of God. Then you've got your second guaranteed merc in Act 6 at the Ridge. Then you've got a third possible guaranteed merc, right? In what, Act 8 in the Underbelly. I might even be missing one. There might be one in Act 4 as well. So we got to roll all this info out for people. And that's partially what we're going to be doing here as a project throughout the league. So early mapping. Talk about that. Once you get through Act 6 through 10, once you kill Katava, what is your priority on the Atlas? We don't have an Atlas yet in Path of Building, do we? I don't think we do. Right? It's, what is it? It's PoE Atlas Planner. Is that what it's called? Yeah, there we go. No, I don't want that. I just want to, nope. There we go. PoE Planner. I just want to do an Atlas. There we go. Okay. So now we're looking at an Atlas. PoE Planner. Here we go. So if you're playing Luminary and you're just getting started, you're like, I've seen all of this. I've heard what G3 Iron said, and I'm following the guide. Like, now what? What is my first, where is it? 25 ascendancy points. Not ascendancy points. 25 ascendancy points. Wow. What would be the best ascendancy with 25 ascendancy points? But anyway, early mapping. First to 25 Atlas points. What does that look like? Well, I think one of the things it's going to look like, where is it? Is coming all the way over here to grab your mercenary stuff. So that way your maps have got now, what's the total percentage chance for mercenaries? 10%, 30%, right? Whole bunch of mercenary chance. How many passive points is this? This is 11. So if this is hunting, right? If we're in an SSF environment, we want to find these. We don't really care about Trathan Vapors. I think we do care about Faith in Arms. I think Faith in Arms is decent because it's an increased effect of their auras, which is good. And then they're affected by a random shrine buff. So like that's really good early temporary power. Because this isn't so much about getting a permanent merc. This is more about, like, as you are mapping, you don't have very much power. And so killing a merc early in a map can actually help you get through a map and progress. Right? This is only 20 passive points. This is not super far out of the way. And this is still pathing you towards the rest of the mercenary tree. The rest of the mercenary tree, I think, you come up here. This is 25 passive points right here. Gets you right outside this wheel that's got all the supremacy nodes. So if you don't want to take Faith in Arms, you can save these 4 points. And you can come up in here with these 3, and you can already go Infamous, right? Who are you searching for? Mercenaries from house blah, blah, blah. Mercenaries from house blah, blah, blah. Or, if you don't want to take that approach, you can come all the way over here to the chance. And you can go, I don't want these types of mercenaries to show up. Like, you can do this. This is 24 passive points. Then you can select one on either side, right? On either side of this. So that's pretty good. That's quite a bit of mercenary finding and searching. Now, you can come all the way over here for items, but I think that is something to get later on, right? I don't think this gives any chance for mercenaries to show. Up here, I don't think this is mercenaries to show. This is unique chance, okay? So I don't think these two up here are the play for early. I think your first 25 points in an Atlas tree for mercenaries, if you're playing a Luminary and your league starting, I think this is where you go. Okay, if you're hunting. If you don't have to hunt because you've already purchased or found a good Luminary, that's fine as well. So that's early mapping discussion, right? We've got to include all of this different stuff in a nice, orderly, tight fashion in our build guide. Then we got to talk about progression mapping, like going from yellows and into reds. And what does that look like? What are thresholds? What are big investments to look for? How can you scale up your particular mercenary? So that's what we're going to be doing today. That's the discussion. I'm going to have POB over here. I'm going to take notes. We're going to do all sorts of things. We're going to discuss all of these sorts of things. It's going to be a great time, I think. I think it's going to be a good time. But anyway, let's start from the get-go. What's the song from Mary Poppins? Not Mary Poppins. Sound of Music. let's start at the very beginning. The beginning is a great place to start. Wow, I can't sing like Julie Andrews. What a shock. I'm a bald, bearded, talentless hack who plays Path of Exile, rather than being an incredibly talented actress named Julie Andrews. All right, so we're going to go into All Flame. So I'm going to pretend like this is a video. We're going to record it as such. So what would we say here? You're looking to create a new Luminary character because you'd like to play with mercenaries. You need to select the league that you are going to be playing in, whether that's Trade League or Solo Self-Found, and then you're going to want to select the Scion. The Scion is the only character at the starting screen who has the availability to hire permanent mercenaries. If you're looking to play permanent mercenary build, you need to start with a Scion. Somebody has Perma-Mercs. I'm going to take Perma-Mercs for fun. There you go. Perma-Mercs for fun. I now have that account, or that username. All right, when you start off on the beach, you're going to start off as everybody starts off on the beach with just a sword and with one zombie who's very hungry and very angry. You're going to use Spectral Throw, and you've got some options here. As you are leveling, after you kill Hillock, you can, of course, use a variety of skills to go throughout Act 1 and progress your 10x story campaign. I actually like to level with Spectral Throw. I think it's okay to do, and thanks to GGG updating the way how coloring works on items, I think there has never been an easier time for you to level as a Scion. You will find lots of different posts and lots of different discussions saying that the Scion is particularly difficult to level with. That is true in comparison with other ascendancies and other characters in general. But because of the changes to coloring and itemization, it has never been easier than right now to level a Scion. So, I highly recommend if you're going to level a Scion, there's never been a better time to do it. After killing Hillock, we go into Lionized Watch, and we're going to progress normally through the first act with whatever skill it is that you are most comfortable using. This is early enough in the game that we're not going to do much for our mercenaries. Mercenaries aren't going to come into play yet. So pick whichever skill you'd like to level up with, and then begin your campaign progression from there. Cable Guy, are you going to teach your child to play PoE? I've already taught several of my kids to play PoE, Cable Guy. Multiple of my kids actually have learned to play PoE. Like, multiple. My 11-year-old knows how to play. I just got to get him a PC so that way he can join me on League Starts. And then we'll be able to play together. See, this is the advantage of having 5 children. If you have 5 children, you can field your own basketball team, your own League of Legends team. You've already got several guild officers for the guild pre-prepared for you. You know, it's just a wonderful thing. Me and Mrs. Draconis are working on making our own guild over here. Okay, so other than describing, selecting your early game, like, progression, how to level with a Scion, I don't think there would need to be that lengthy of a discussion of that in the Luminary Guide. I would think that would be relatively quick and relatively easy and relatively short. Would you all think of that as well? I would think if somebody's coming to play a Luminary, yes, there might be some brand new players who are coming in, but I would think for the most part, is it up and around? Yeah, it's up and around. I would think for the most part, like, folks don't need a lengthy act guide, right? Is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, it's this way. I think in the path of building, it might be helpful to say, here are some links that you should be looking for. But I don't think like a lengthy dissertation on the topic of Act 1 is really that helpful to anybody, right? I don't think so. I should go get some twink gear so this goes faster, shouldn't I? I should probably do that. Because really, the fun is going to begin once we get to, what, Act 3? And we're really farming for different mercenaries and trying out different mercenaries. Also, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this on a low-level character instead of my high-level character is because you can't use mercenaries that are 20 levels different from you. So I wanted to try and have a character that's low enough in the campaign that I can actually, you know, interact with low-level mercenaries and give them a shot and actually show, like, hey, this is how this one functions. So, what's up, Roblox? Isn't it wonderful to look back and be like, hey, where did the last 10 years of life go? Almost 10 years. It's good stuff. I don't nearly make as many videos as I used to, but that's okay. I don't nearly stream as nearly as I used to, but that's okay. Today I get to stream. In this league, I get to hopefully build a mercenaries introductory guide on, yeah, on how to actually do mercenaries. And the different forms of mercenaries. I think that's a whole other series as well. It's like a public service to the community in general of like, hey, what are mercenaries and how do they function? Because there's a number of players maybe who are coming to PoE who maybe played during Mercenaries League, but didn't necessarily like min-max their mercenary, right? They didn't really lean into it. And even if they did play Mercenaries League, there are some tweaks and changes, right, to the way how mercenaries are functioning. Like a huge portion of mercenaries in Merc League were just about like just getting Doriani's chess pieces and just operating from there. Like that was a huge portion of Mercenary League, and obviously that option no longer exists at all for mercenaries. So. Got to adapt, right? Got to adapt. And so our build discussions and our build guides, they also have to adapt, right? Everything's got to adapt. Luminary's got to adapt because Merc mechanics are different, and that means the player base has got to adapt because mechanics are different. Okay, so let's go. So in the build guide, let's do this. Let's put notes for like Act 1. Okay, so Act 1. Actually, in the notes, we should actually include just like everything. So character selection, right? Character selection. Choose a Scion. Only Scion can play with perma mercenaries. Okay. That's a plural. There we go. Character selection. Choose a Scion. Only Scion can play with a perma mercenary. Through Act 1, use whichever skill you are most comfortable with. Thanks to GGG's new update for colors on items, it is significantly easier and never has been so early consistently to use 3 links. That is a really poorly written sentence, but there you go. That's where it's at for right now. Okay. While Scion leveling can be difficult, can't try your guide in SSF. You could. You could. That's part of what I want to do, right? Is to showcase. I'm going to use Trade League so that way we can actually trade and get stuff and showcase it. But then we can hopefully help players who want to play SSF, like, hey, what am I hunting for? What am I looking for? What are the options? Because coming back to our paint image here, right? Again, most people think build guides are follow the green line and it's just A to B to C to D. But if you're a Merc build, it's all of this stuff. Right? It's all of these different trajectories because every single one of these lines, as we were drawing it, is a different kind of Merc. And there's more. These are just the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. It's like every different Merc potentially is a different build and is potentially a different hunt as well in SSF. While Scion leveling can be difficult, due to the color skill gem update on items not needing chromes anymore, there has never been a better time. Honestly, there's never been a better time to play, to level a Scion. There we go. Okay, so Act 1, I choose to use Spectral Throw. Because it allows for constant moving and kiting of enemies. There we go. If I can make a suggestion, doing the League mechanic even very early is good. First drops are based towards, are biased to be good and well rolled. I found a wand and a shield with +1 cold, and I was set. Very nice, Roblox. I mean, I'm set for currency. Like, this is my second account. My other account's a level 95 merc. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. I can go and buy, you know, movement speed boots and tabula rasas and all sorts of stuff. Like, this was just currency that I dropped over here from my other Luminary, so that way I can specifically spend this currency just on this character, just to hopefully help build out this build guide. Right? I choose to use Spectral Throw because it allows for consistent moving and kiting of enemies. The links that we are using. What do we want to do here? We want to say Act 1 links. Link suggestions. Right? Act 1 link suggestions are Spectral Throw with, what is it? Prismatic Burst. With, is it Chance to Bleed? Chance to Bleed. How do I make it so it's red? I forget. Use the caret symbol followed by the hex code, and it'll set the color. So if I do this, there we go, Chance to Bleed. And then if I go this, Prismatic Burst is green. And then Spectral... Oh, wait, this is blue, actually. It's Intelligence. There we go. Okay, and then this Spectral Throw is green. There we go. Act 1 link suggestions. Ta-da! We're getting that in. Okay, other things that we want to use in Act 1. Vitality. And then Intelligence is Clarity. Clarity. Auras. Whoops. I just want to use default here. Auras to use early are Vitality and Clarity. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, and Precision. Right? And Precision. So, Precision. Okay. I think a brief explanation of those is probably needed. Probably not. People understand those. Maybe not. Maybe they don't understand them. Okay, let's go to default again. Rings are key for damage in Act 1. Pick up iron rings if using an attack-based ability, skill gem, throughout Act 1. An early two-handed sword or axe can make Act 1 a breeze to fly through. I think that was how I got my 20 sub 25 minute run on League Start this league. Was just running through here and being like, hey, here's some rings, and then do I have a two-handed weapon? And you start off with what's it called? 3 wisdom scrolls, and so you use those 3 wisdom scrolls early on. Here we go. Here's a two-handed weapon. We are going to use that. And then I don't have any wisdom scrolls. That's funny. I have alterations though, don't I? But I don't have a wisdom scroll. I don't think I can buy wisdom scrolls either. Yeah, that's funny. Look at this. Look at this. 700 chaos. And nary a wisdom scroll. I actually need a wisdom scroll here. Excuse me, kind sir. I need a wisdom scroll. Okay, thank you, sir. That's funny. Okay, I also need some portal scrolls, sir. I've never actually purchased Portal Scrolls or Wisdom Scrolls from Faustus in my life. There's people actually selling them! Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. Okay, so now we've got our weapon here. Other things to do. Okay, for movement speed. For movement speed. For movement speed. Movement abilities. For Act 1. So Act 1, movement abilities. I recommend shield charge if not using a two-hander, and Frostblink. Ta-da! Frostblink. Frostblink is a blue gem. And then... Whoops! No, do this. Okay, there you go. Then you have to click again. And then shield charge is red. No! Don't do that. And then all this goes white. Why didn't you go white? There we go. Okay, so we're back on default. I recommend shield charge if not using a two-handed weapon. And Frostblink. Okay. We need to have this set up. This is all titled, like, this is all pre... What did we call this in the spreadsheet? In the table of contents? Pre-Perma-Merc. Act 1 through 3. Act 1 through 3. Pre-Perma-Merc. Okay? Pre-Perma-Merc. Act 1 through 3. Alright, so this is all Act 1. Look how crazy this is going to be. I'm going to have just a souped-up Act 1 character here. Oh, baby. We got anything with movement? No, but we got a... Oh, man. Almost a 3-link. Okay, we'll take the 2-link. Alright, 2-link here. We're going to take the 2-link here. Alright, Frostblink here. Prismatic. And Spectral Throw. And then we keep moving. We keep on moving! Okay, we want to kill the... What is it? The trade channel. There you go. Kill trade. I always put Frostblink on Q because I like doing that. I like using my left hand on the keyboard as much as possible. When do you get Leap Slam? Because Leap Slam is going to be the option. I think that's... Is that right before we kill the jailer? I'm forgetting. Maybe it's right after Dweller, actually. Right? Maybe it's available right now. Because it's Leap Slam plus Frostblink, right? So maybe I've actually got it available to me. You'd think after playing, like, Act 1 so many times last week in preparation for the league start that I would know. You would think. But I don't. Okay, now here's another point as well for leveling up. For early Act 1 mapping. For early Act 1 mapping, we got to put this into the tree. Not mapping, sorry. For early Act 1 campaign, we need to make a tree. So we are going to make a tree. Manage trees. We are going to create a new one that is going to be called Act 1. Generic attack-based leveling. Ta-da! Hey, what's up, Coffee? Been a minute since I was able to watch a stream. Well, welcome. It's good to see you. It's been a while since I've been able to stream consistently. Okay, so the point here is to go generic attack-based leveling. What is this? This is like through... Well, you get... What is it? 4 passives plus 12 levels, basically. So the first 16 points. I go down here and grab Path of the Hunter. Then I go over here and I grab the Harrier. And this just gives a ton of attack speed and move speed. And then I come over here. And that gives me what? 13 points? 13 points is where we're at. Save this as a new folder. Luminary build guides. And now we're going to save this as... Save as... Luminary beginner build guide to mercs. To perma mercs. Luminary beginner build guide to perma mercs. What is the acronym for that? The Luminary beginner build guide to perma mercs. It almost looks like LGBTQ something. LBBGPM. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the LBBGPM. The Luminary beginner build guide to perma mercs. You say that 10 times fast and don't trip over it. All right, so we're going to come over here so that way we get projectile damage, movement speed, and then we're going to come up here and grab Harrier in just a moment. That's the plan. I'm so used to being able to speed jump this that I'm like, where's my shield charge button? Where's my leap slam button? Nope, can't use that yet, Iron. You don't have that equipped. That's fun. Alright, let's go find the Dweller. Dweller is another passive point. So you get a passive point for Dweller. You get a passive... I don't know if you get a passive point. I don't think you get one for killing... Fairgraves is a passive point, right? So that's 2 passive points. So that's at least like 14 passives is what you get through Act 1, basically. Alright, be prepared for the most difficult fight. This is the hardest fight that you will have in the entirety of the campaign. Dweller of the Deep. He is the perfect mismatch of his abilities and damage and utility versus our lack of all of those things. Our lack of damage, our lack of utility, our lack of defenses. He's just annoying. You can even save him to fight him later. I'm just fighting him while we're at our weakest because I'm used to it. That's just my own silliness. Okay, after you kill the Dweller of the Deep, you're going to come down here to the Submerged Passage. Dweller of the Deep. Don't forget the Submerged Passage. And then you're going to go whichever direction the rest of the map is not showing. Right? That helps you significantly, as long as you don't go into dead ends like I do. But going right or left, depending on whichever side of the map is not revealed, that will get you towards the ledge that much quicker. Okay? So you get to the ledge, you give yourself some more attack speed and dexterity, and you keep on progressing. That's the plan. That's the game plan. You spam your Frostblink as much as you can because levels-wise, you're doing okay. Levels-wise, it's okay if we get as far down as like 5 levels to the zone. But once I'm at 5 levels to the zone, I'm like, okay, I should probably just level for a second. It's okay to slow down and level. But if I'm, I don't know, if I'm even with the zone, or even 1 level under the zone, I try and just get through it. Speaking of getting through it, I should be using a movement speed flask. I have hundreds of chaos in my inventory, thanks to already playing a Luminary character once. What on earth am I doing not using a movement speed flask, or not using, what you call it, the move speed boots? 7 League Step. How much are 7 League Step? I should just go buy one. It really would speed up the progression here, because we really want to get to Act 3 and start testing stuff. So let's go find the waypoint. Waypoint's usually on the inside to the right, whereas progression is usually on the outside to the left. Here we go. Here's the waypoint. Watch out for Flame Goatee guys. Flame Goatee guys hurt. Do we already have Leap Slam available to us? You killed a granddaddy crab? Decoy Totem. And then don't care about this. Do we already? I don't think we do. Do we? Let's find out. Movement. Oh, I see Shield Charge. Okay, Dash is also available there. Shield Charge is also available there. There we go. Ooh, Bear Trap. That's pretty fun. Do I have a chance to bleed? Not yet. Okay. No bleed chance yet. Let's throw bear trap somewhere. There we go. That's quite helpful for killing single target stuff. We're going to go over here for increased attack speed. That's quite nice for our spectral throw. We like doing that. And then let's go look it up. Let's go see here. How much is it for a 7 league step? Just for the move speed. Oh, that's great. What? Oh, right. I'm logged into the wrong account on the trade website. Gotta log into my other account. There we go. Ta-da! Go to trade. Go to 7 league step. There we go. Now let's travel. Oh, I don't have enough gold. No! Okay, never mind. Never mind. Fine, I don't care. That's pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. What is this? What? I have no idea what that is. Okay. We're going to move on without the 7 league step. We are going to go and grab... I think we've got these in the guild stash. I think we've got move speed flasks in the guild stash, but maybe not. Do we have any that are low level? Yeah, we got one. Here we go. Low level. Low... Oh my goodness, we've got a billion. Low level. Low level. Level low. Here we go. There we go. We are good to go. All right, we now have some move speed flasks. We can get through Act 1 a little bit faster. What other things in Act 1 do we need to tell people? We should make a note here about bear trap. Okay, note. Link suggestions. Bear trap. What is bear trap? Is bear trap green? I think it's green. Bear trap can be a huge help for single target DPS early. You can still use it even if you are using a melee weapon. Right? Here we go. Because watch. Look at this. I can throw a trap. So you can use a trap. And what bear trap does is it says it applies this debuff. Okay? Enemies take 25% increased damage from trap or mine hits. Enemies have 80% less movement speed when the debuff starts. So you can slow things down, and you can make it so that way your next bear trap actually does more damage. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. Ta-da! It keeps things off of your character if you need to. It's a nice little boost. When your character doesn't have many boosts, it's a nice thing to have a boost. Alright, should I also... I should not equip anything. I should not equip anything. I'm going to equip at least some things. I'm going to equip those things. I'm probably going to equip more things, because I'm going to get sick of just staring at Scion the entire time. Look at this, though. Here's a guy. Here's a big guy. Look at that. We stopped him dead in his tracks. Look at that. He can't come to us now because we used our bear trap. Isn't that so nice? And now when he's approaching us at a much slower rate of acceleration. Speaking of acceleration, it'd be nice to have an acceleration shrine. I don't think they can actually spawn this low. I don't think I've ever seen an acceleration shrine in Act 1. Have any of you ever seen an acceleration shrine in Act 1? I don't think I've ever seen one. Pretty sure there's some amount of level keeping, but maybe not. Maybe not. All right, once we level up, we're going to keep moving towards Harrier for increased attack speed. And that's going to be good for us because more attack speed means these little floaty, dangly swords come out much faster. This is the wrong way. Whoops. And the faster the swords come out, the better. I also want to be looking for 3 links. We need to include that in the guide. In the guide, include. Every time you level up, you can check your vendors in town for possible 3 links. 3 links are very strong early on, whether you are a spellcaster or an attack based build. Okay, so if I was going to recommend leveling with spells, I think I would level with SRS. I think that's what I would level with. So we should put that in here. I choose to use Spectral Throw. So let's grab this. If I copy and paste this, will it keep the coloration? Oh my goodness, it threw the coloration everywhere. I don't want everything to be colored that way. Look at that. That's crazy. Spectral Throw. That's a funny copy and paste feature in POB. No, I don't want that. I just want this. I just want this. There we go. Okay. So I choose to use Spectral Throw because it allows for constant moving and kiting of enemies. If you prefer a minion playstyle, can the Scion actually get SRS? I don't know if the Scion can. I need to check that. If the Scion can get SRS, that would be... It would be pretty smooth for new players, right? Because of the homing in factor. Just being able to stand in a corner and cast. It's pretty much the tops. Okay, let's go fact check that really quick. Can the Scion grab SRS? Ooh, where's a chance to bleed? Somewhere in here now. Summon. Yeah, she can. Okay, at level 4. So you could also go Raging Spirits. So let's add that in. Let's add this in. If you prefer a minion playstyle, summon Raging Spirits is a great option, available at level 4. So we want this to become blue. And then if you prefer a totem playstyle, what is it? Holy Flame Totem? Ooh, Holy Flame Totem is not of it. Is it Flame Totem? No, it's just not available. What are the 3 totems that are available? Rejuvenation, Decoy, and Devouring. Okay, so you can't go Holy Flame Totem. Wow, that's interesting. That's good to know. Oh, it's good to know. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, what else? I don't think we can do any auras yet. You get your first aura after, whatcha-who's it? After we kill the jailer. So, we're going to need to go kill the jailer. Let's go back through the portal. By the way, this skill tree, I think this skill tree, I wouldn't come down here to Path of the Hunter, but I might still come grab the movement speed if I was playing SRS. Just because movement speed early on is high quality of life. So I might still do that. I might still recommend that, right? Just to push through Act 1 as efficiently and as effectively as possible. Some folks like to slow down in their experience and be more tanky and not risk dying. That is a thing. But I'm going to assume if somebody's playing a character in Iron Man mode where they're going to die and then lose their character, I'm going to assume that they already know a little bit about how they'd like to level and progress. Okay, we're going to throw down our bear traps. He's going to smash. Oh, we're going to die right away. See? What were we talking about? Being comfy? Oh, that's great. So SRS has the advantage of being able to just hide around the corner and let your SRS actually beat up on the guy. Right? I think the other thing that we need to do here for this, Holy Flame Totem is only available in Act 1 to Witch, Templar, and Marauder. Good call, David. I think the other thing that we need to include in here is a section on uniques. Uniques. Depending on your merc, you will want, depending on your merc that you are aiming to use, you will want to consider a wide variety of uniques and combinations of uniques in order to achieve the most out of the merc type you have selected. Selection? Selected. Yeah, this is really, really big. I think this part right here is... No, I want this to be here. But I think this part is pretty big. Okay, so shift actually works to highlight, but scrolling does not. All right, uniques. Let's make uniques. Variety of uniques. There we go. Shift clicking doesn't work, but shift arrow key does. There we go. For instance, like if you're playing a lightning-based build, you're going to want Paraquil's Toe, right? Note that spectral throw damage is based off of weapon damage, so upgrading your weapon is important early. That's another good call, Dave. That's another great call. I just think getting the two-hander and then grabbing the iron rings, I think that's the best way to go. It makes a huge difference. Alright, he's coming around the corner. Watch for the slam. Let me embrace you. There we go. There's 2, 3. Okay, he's going to hit. Okay, we're going to throw down some traps. He's going to smash. He's coming around the corner. We're going to put down some traps. He's actually going to blow up the traps. Also, another thing that's a big one is chance to bleed. Having chance to bleed on Brutus is pretty big. I don't remember where I got chance to bleed before. But chance to bleed is... Being on a 3-link and having chance to bleed is really big. Okay, so he probably blew up those traps. But see, if you can keep throwing traps at him, you can kind of keep him slowed. Which is quite handy. Let me embrace you. Whoop. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so once Brutus is down, you now have access to Vitality and Clarity. Vitality and Clarity are both very, very powerful auras that you can use early on to fix your mana or to fix your life, to fix your health. Those are two very, very big abilities to have. I just now realized I've put the camera in the totally wrong spot here for this entire video. So here you go. That's okay. There we go. Let's go a little bit smaller and out of the way to actually showcase our XP and our... There we go. What you call it? Our skills. Our skill bar. Okay, so once we kill Brutus, we can go back. We can grab an upgrade. And we can grab Leap Slam, Blink Arrow, or Flame Dash. We're going to grab Leap Slam for the moment, but eventually we're going to swap over to Shield Charge. Was there anything that I wanted over here? Was this where I got Chance to Bleed from? Bleed. No? Where did I get Chance to Bleed? Maybe I just dropped it on League Start. Maybe that's where I got it from. I think I need to be level 8, though, in order to use this. So we're going to go over here and grab Added Lightning. And then at level 8 is where we're going to use that. We're going to keep progressing along Prisoner's Gate. Prisoner's Gate. Whoa, I just lost my light. There we go. Okay, Prisoner's Gate is usually following along one side of the mountains and just staying with that side of the mountain. So it's the opposite side of the mountain here. And we will find the cut into the mountain. The mountains, Gandalf. Mountains. I want to see mountains again. Oh, also I should have grabbed Vitality and Clarity, right? Ooh, look at that. Another Quicksilver Flask. Nice. I'm gonna move away from that guy. He seems mean. Alright, we are now level 8, which means that we can use our added lightning. And we should go back and look for a 3-link. Because a 3-link would allow us to use added lightning. And what level do we need to be for this? Level 10? Level 10, okay. Level 10 for our Leap Slam or Shield Charge combo. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright. Fairgraves is also kind of new in the way how Fairgraves works. So that's very fun. Alright, so we go from waypoint to waypoint. We now no longer need to find the All-Flame. Alright, so it's highly recommended that if you can afford it, that you get an aura early on. Aura. There we go. Clarity. Precision. And Vitality. These are all level 10 gems right here. And since we're back in town, we're going to take a look for a 3-link. Oh, look at that! A 3-link weapon that just so happens to be an upgrade in the weapon slot as well. So we're going to do that. Any other 3-links? 3-link chest piece. We could do that. That's it for now. Okay. Chance to Bleed is available to sign after defeating Hailrake. Okay, so it was Act 2. It was Act 2 that I got it. That makes sense. So at level 10, we'll be able to equip all 3 of those auras. So the reason why we can't use them right now is just because I'm rushing through a little bit. And that's okay. Just like Bob Ross would tell us, everybody needs to go at their own pace. Birds fly at their own pace. Foxes hunt at their own pace. You need to play PoE at your own pace. Alright, so after we tell people to get auras, what else needs to be included? Also a section on uniques. I think the section on uniques is probably going to be one of the longer sections of the guide, right? Let's be real. Let's also be real about getting a 3-link and then not putting stuff in the 3-link. Let's be real. There we go. Oh boy. Fairgraves has got new music. Fairgraves ain't messing around. Okay, there we go. Down goes Fairgraves. Talk to Bestel for your reward. And we move forward. He didn't drop the All-Flame, I guess, because I already did it on the character this league. I guess that's an account-based quest item? Is that what that is? Or does Bestel give it now? Maybe, 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 maybe. Alright, we are level 9. We're about to hit 10. If we kill these guys, will we hit 10? I think so. Yep, there we go. Alright, so now we can use Clarity, Precision, and we don't quite have enough strength for this, but pretty soon we're going to have some more strength because we're coming over this way, and that gives us just enough strength to use Vitality. So on our second bar, I like to use the second bar for all of our auras and those sorts of things. Don't like to use my first bar for that because I don't like to take the risk of accidentally turning them off. Whew. Yikes, these guys hurt. That's right though, we got past them. Oh, do we still have to go to Shipyard Cave even if we've already beaten? Wait. Okay, do I still need to do this quest? Because I don't think I had to do it to get the passive on League Start. I thought Fairgraves just dropped it. Really weird. This is what happens when you play the campaign for 10 plus years, and then they change something in it, and you're like, what? What year is it? What's going on? What game am I playing? I have no idea what I'm doing. Act 1, Medicine Chest mission. Oh, that's where. That's where. Good call, Dave. Good call. There's only a certain number of things my geriatric mind can balance at a time. There we go. Selling this. Don't need the decoy totem. Alright, these rings. It's decent to slam this on this because it's going to guarantee a physical property. And so that's pretty good. And now we're back to Merveil's Caverns. And we're moving forward, making our mercenary luminary character. It will be a most illuminating experience. I think I'm excited to try out, honestly, every single merc. Like, there's not a merc that I'm like, I don't want to try that out. I want to try out different mercs and think through, especially in the campaign. I want to be able to tell somebody who's new to Path of Exile and who wants to play a minion-style build without quite all of the complexities of the Swiss Army knife that are playing minion builds, right? Because minion builds can just do whatever they want. It just depends on how they're going to do it, right? That's the glory and the joy of minion builds. In a lot of ways, is they can get to whatever version of themselves they want to be. More offensive, more defensive, more bossing, more clear. There's just so many different options that it's pretty overwhelming for new players, I think. But I want to get to the point where I can say to somebody, okay, you get X mercenary in Upper Scepter of the Gods. Here's how you can play that through the campaign successfully. Here's how that is not a screwed League start. Oh no, I am playing a Luminary on League start, or just character start, right? It doesn't even have to be a League start. It's my second character. Like many players are going to play here throughout Curse of Allflame, right? And go, okay, I'd like to play a Luminary. How do I actually get to the spot where many other players have showcased? It's very, very strong, very, very tanky. How do I get there? And I think the answer, at least in part, is having some level of game knowledge to be able to say, okay, throughout the campaign, I have this mercenary, and that means I pivot this direction. Okay, I'm in early map, so I have this mercenary. I pivot this other direction. So we'll see. It'll be good. It'll be good. I think that the destructive link kind of options is intriguing. I also think there's some potential to build this. Well, we'll find out if this is true or not, right? So hot take, potential hot take. We're going to find out if it's possible to play a Scion Luminary. I'd like to be able to answer this question without relying on a link at all, without using a link skill at all. Can you just play with a merc? Is that possible? Or no? Like, is the Ascendancy basically requiring you to use a link skill because there's no other way to scale your damage, or to scale your crit for like destructive play, or to scale your defenses, etc. So, which a whole other aspect of playing with mercs that I haven't even begun to talk about yet is using your mercs as a support, because your mercs give you auras that are good. On my main merc, on my other account, that's in the level 90s, I have a merc that's giving me, it's a many-shot merc that gives me hatred and grace, and I have 0 evasion scaling, and I just have 5,000 flat evasion. Like, that's a lot. That's a pretty big number. So imagine if you actually scaled that up. Like, imagine if everybody's going to be thinking about like playing, Magic Find and going merc and making the merc your Magic Find character. But imagine if instead of your merc being the Magic Find character, you're the Magic Find character and your merc is your aura bot with 2 auras, hatred and grace. And if one of them's Fall Grace, they actually pop that off pretty frequently. They try to. They really work into that. So it's kind of interesting. All right, so once you're in Act 2, we need to put this on the build guide. Act 2. Act 2. Act 2. Link suggestions. And Frostblink. What else did we want to say? Leap Slam. Whoops. Default. Where are we at? Here we are. Leap Slam does become available at level 10. Here we go. auras to use early, starting at level 10, after killing Brutus, are Vitality, Clarity, Precision. Okay. Leap Slam does become available at level 10, not act. There we go. Well, what is going on here? What is this carrot? What is... There we go. What? I'm just deleting all this. Look at this. This is bad. What? Why does it keep... Ah! I'm deleting all of this. I'm deleting you all. There we go. Why is it down here now? No, the coloring. Default. There we go. Leap Slam. Now go default. Is available starting at level 10. There we go. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So we've got our tree. And we said, how many passive points do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. This is with 11 passives. That's because I'm character level 11? Really? Plus Dweller of the Deep? Is that 11 passives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Oh, because you don't get a passive at level 1. You start the game at level 1, not at level 0. Leveling up goes from level 1 to level 2. That explains that. Okay. So, we've got our Act 1 generic attack-based leveling. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to do manage trees, new tree. Well, can we copy? Copy this tree, Acts 2 generic attack-based leveling. So now we're going to go here to number 2. And I believe we come all the way down here for Rage and all the way over here for Martial Clear. Sorry, Martial Experience. And we grab 40% increased damage with hits. Okay, I'm actually going to write a note on this. For Act 2, link suggestions. Link and passive suggestions. Okay. I rush for Martial Experience on the tree for the two-handed mastery. What is the exact wording of it? 40% increased damage with hits. 40% increased damage with hits against rare and unique enemies. This is such a helpful mastery for Act 2. You'll fight almost one unique enemy per quest, be it 2 or 3 of the bandits, the Weaver, the Bishop, Golden Hand. What else? The Captain of the Guard. What else? The Act Boss. And what else? Hail Rake. And what else? Any other uniques in Act 2? I think that's a lot. In addition to all of the yellow monsters you may choose to fight. The mastery is quite strong and is available pretty early. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to need like multiple notes-based sections, right? I'm going to need so many notes-based sections. I'm going to need like just a discussion and a disclaimer on, you know, just the pre-perma merc leveling and then Acts 3 through 5 and all that. Hail Rake is the medicine chest guy. Who is it that I'm thinking of? Not Hailrake. Who is it that I'm thinking of? Fidelitas. There we go. Fidelitas. Fidelitas. There we go. Is that even how you spell his name? Fidel Castro in Act 2. You fight against Fidel Castro's ghost. Fairgraves has summoned him to join him in a barbarous mission across the various seas of the Caribbean. You've heard of pirates of the Caribbean? Well, welcome to communists of the Caribbean. Featuring all of your favorite greats, Che Guevara, Karl Marx, Fidel Castro. Oh my goodness. Oh. That's fantastic. Mao Zedong makes an appearance from the west, from the east, from the far east. So many historical figures are now joining in the pirate outrage. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to run old fields. In Act 2, we run all the way from Act 2's town, which is quite fun, all the way to the crossroads, grab the waypoint, so we get some levels from this. That is the ideal scenario. We grab a level or two from just running through, and then we go over and we kill Captain of the Guard and we go back to Act 1. Because we get a reward for killing Captain of the Guard and opening up that broken causeway or broken passageway. There we go, Magic Pack dead. Do I still want to be using all of these auras? Probably not. Also, I am level 10, so I should be using Leap Slam as well. I think I want to keep leveling Clarity and Precision. I think those are the two things that I really... Yeah, come on in! Really want to be leveling up. The Broken Bridge! Alright, let's grab Broken Bridge waypoint. It's not Hailrake. I think it's Fidelitas. I think that's who it is. I think that's the... Or is that Act 7? I don't remember. I think... I've only been playing this campaign for 10 years. This is why GGG wants us all to still play the campaign every single league multiple times on multiple accounts. You will learn the lore of the campaign. You will learn every unique boss's name. Otherwise, how will you make Luminary build guide? Okay, so we go from here back to Forest Encampment. With our passive point, we come over here and grab Path of the Warrior. We should see our damage start to increase from here. I don't think I need Vitality at this point, but I think Precision is probably going to help me quite a bit. There we go. We took it off. Leap Slam. Gloves. Let's gamble for some gloves. Gambling is huge. I'm going to tell people to do that as well. Okay, gambling. Skill color items. I use Spectral Throw. Let's talk gems. Skill gems. Skill gems. Skill gems. Let's also talk items. Gambling. Gambling. In real life, it is devastating. Stay away from it. It will destroy your soul. In PoE, do it early, do it often. Visit Bestel in Act 1 or Silk in Act 2 to fill out, welcome beautiful, to fill out your inventory. I'm like, what does it mean?
I was just trying. She's awake.
She's awake. Hello, beautiful.
And then she fell asleep, but she's awake for the moment. There's a cute dragon. I wish there were dragons in PoE. Then their diaper would match PoE.
Oh, there's a dragon in Delph. There's one dragon. Yeah. Hi, beautiful. Say, hello, YouTube. Say, I am going to build a luminary and hire a mercenary.
With a wand? Is that what a luminary is?
It's the new mercenary.
What?
Yeah. It's the new mercenary class.
Take her back. I was just showing you she was
Hello,
awake for a
beautiful.
little bit.
I know. She's feeling good. She needed to sleep. Yeah, you needed to sleep. Yeah. Mwah.
I made your kids clean up the car, please.
Oh, good. Give them something to do.
Can I shit? I don't know the word. Okay.
There you go.
Your mouth, you see, and that's what-
Okay, in real life, it is devastating. Stay away from it. Speaking of gambling, it will destroy your soul. In PoE, do it early, do it often. Visit Bestel in Act 1 or Silk in Act 2 to fill out your inventory. The gold cost is relatively small. In order of priority, seek upgrades in empty slots, then in weapon slots for attack-based builds, and jewelry slots if all other slots are filled and DPS isn't slowing you down. Okay? So right now my DPS really isn't slowing me down that much. I've got an empty glove slot, I've got an empty belt slot, and I've got an empty amulet slot. I've got 3,000 gold. So what can I grab here? I can grab an amulet. Gives me dex and lightning. I can grab a belt. Global physical damage. That's fantastic. And then gloves. Let's do armor and evasion gloves. Adds damage and gives me strength. Look at that. It's also a 3-link. Let's flippin' go. Okay, so we're going to move on from here into the riverways. And we are going to continue to build out our Luminary guide. We need to make this so that way this is on always attacks. I need to swap this to here and swap this to here. Because I'm used to using W, not E for my movement. There we go. Can't believe I'm talking about my movement with this many people in the room. But anyway, that's the way it is at the moment. Okay, so that's our movement skills sorted. I think the other thing that we need to tell people in Act 2, besides for rushing the 40% damage node, I think if I was playing... Okay, if I was playing as a... If I was playing as a spellcaster, if I'm using SRS, I think I'm coming all the way up for the minion damage node up here. I think Enduring Bond is what I would rush. I think that's what I would do. How many passive points is this? This is 27 passive points at the end of Act 2, and it's 13 passive points for Act 1. How much is it to get... Let's copy this one. Default, manage trees, copy. Act 1, let's go generic minion-based leveling. Minion-based leveling. Let's do that. Okay, so now that I'm on minion-based leveling, okay, taking all these points off, I think I would come up through here for increased mana, or I could come up and do cast speed. How much is this? This is 7 points versus this is 7 points. Okay, so this is actually faster. Coming up through the mana and then coming to Enduring Bond. That's a total of 14 points, so that could be Act 1. That's all of Act 1 right there. Act 1 is just rushing to get minion skill effect duration and increased damage. And this helps solve some of your mana issues early. I think this is what I would do for generic minion-based leveling in Act 1. It'd be a little bit slower. But that's fine. It would also be comfier. It just would be. It just works. Okay, so we go from Riverways to Western Forest. Western Forest, we look for the waypoint. Whee! Waypoint. And once we've secured the waypoint, we will go slay the captain. I think some... What's the earliest level you can use Paraquil's Toe? I want to look that up. Paraquil's Toe. What's the requirements on that? Ooh, see, somebody on the G3 Discord is just now talking about tried 6 different mercs, feels like Vol I shot with return on, or you're wasting your time. See, I'm going to be trying out different mercs and setups to see what sorts of available options there are, in addition to the already known Flame Link plus Mini Shot and Trip plus Destructive. I'm actually streaming the build guide creation discussion right now. Boy, I love Discord. Do y'all remember when we had to use forums? Do y'all remember that? Using forums? Old school forums? I remember that. Okay, can I switch these around? You can move their positioning? Okay, that's pretty cool. So I could actually just put it like, so all the Act 1 stuff is next to each other, and then all the Act 2 stuff is next to each other. That's pretty handy, pretty nifty. I don't know if there's a better third-party program for games than Path of Building. That's saying a lot. There's a lot of great third-party programs for games. Woo, I'm getting hit hard there. I'm standing on the exploding vessels. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. I was going to look up Paraquil's Toe and what's the earliest you can use Paraquil's Toe. Okay, items. Paraquil's. What about Toe? If I just type in Toe. Yeah, there we go. Paraquil's Toe. Okay, what's the required level? Required level 29. Okay, so you could go Paraquil's Toe. Because you can wear it. You don't even have to equip it to your mercenary. You could just wear Paraquil's Toe. I don't know why I'm adding a vowel in there. Paraquils. Perquils. Anyway, you could wear this. And then that would boost you and your mercenary. Your hits would be lucky. You could also give it to your mercenary eventually and let them use it. But there'd be some more restrictions, right? Because of the requirements that are on it. As a dex-based amulet, right? The programs for PoE are great, but the old school RuneScape wiki is by far the best wiki on the internet. You're probably right, Roblox, but I'm talking programs. But those of you who have played old school RuneScape, there's some fantastic stuff out there for RuneScape. Basically, a lot of people argue that anything that's good about third-party gaming or supports or community investment stuff, like stuff that's been produced by the community for the community, like it all is just a ripoff in some way from something from RuneScape. Like that's how influential RuneScape is in terms of what it's done for creating community like tools and feedback and opportunities. Yeah, it's crazy good. Okay, so we come back over here. I think it's Bestel, right? Yeah, Fairgraves was a good man. So we did have an additional passive point. We had one additional passive point in Act 1 that we need to go back and fix. Okay, so the attack-based tree is 13. We need to make it 14. Ta-da! There we go. Save. The minion-based is 14. There we go. Generic attack-based leveling tree. I think 27 sounds about right. That sounds right-ish. And then let's go here and let's copy generic minion-based leveling. Copy. Act 2, generic minion-based leveling. I think I would go from here for minions. I would start coming over to the sacrifice wheel, to the spiritual command wheel. I would probably come in here and grab heart and soul. This is 25 passive points. 27. This puts us at 27 passive points here for our minions already. I might even come over here and grab these, because this is just a lot of minion damage. So instead of this, for 27. I think that's what I would do. And since I'm the one doing it, that's what I say. There we go. All right, so for attacks, we're going to start making our way down towards Martial Mastery. Reveal Reward, what did we want? I don't think there was anything, right? I think we were just good. I think we were good. We were just here for passives. That's what we were here for. Thank you for the passives, madam and sir. All right, we should go back to Act 2, and now we can gamble for a better weapon. Because this weapon... Well, we already have a 3-link elsewhere. And so let's gamble for a better weapon. Let's do a 2-handed axe. It's 100 gold for us. Look at this. A 3-link that's going to quadruple our damage. Gee, I don't know if that was worth it or not. You know, I don't really know. Okay, when do we get faster attacks? Not for a while. Alright. Now we want to go and kill the Weaver, but we're only level 14. So what we do is we go and we get the golden hand. That's the next thing that we do. That's at least the way how I run it. It's to grab as many passive points as possible. Because that's what makes me comfy. Alright, so we're going to move along here. I think another thing to think about with mercenaries, like leveling them, if your character is doing well, I saw this from so many people. So many people! Oh my goodness. Is there a template for like a blank Reddit statement? Is there one? Blank Reddit post template. Is there like an image that I can snag? Here you go. Here's one. I'm just copying this image shamelessly and putting it onto Paint. Here you go. Dump this. Make it black. There we go. Okay, so I saw so many people over opening weekend talking about luminaries and mercs and builds and these sorts of things going. And this was basically the post. Okay, this was basically the post. We don't need to make it quite that large. There you go. I'm sure some of you have got better eyesight than me. I was doing good damage through Act 10, then swapped to Merc and do 0 DPS. WTF? Merc's bad. Right? This is a post. I'm pretending. We're pretending together. Okay, I saw a significant number of posts, of comment replies, both in the main Path of Exile subreddit. I didn't call you. And we'll just say the username is struggling to Merc. Struggling to Merc. Right? I saw a lot of this. If you're doing good damage already as a character, if your character's doing good damage, because a lot of people were following Havoc's guide and were using Sunder, you should just still use Sunder. Like, if your character is good at what they're doing, if you're leveling as an SRS character, if you're leveling as a spellcaster, and you're using Arc, and things are going great, and you're shocking stuff, and everything's just awesome. And then you're like, all right, with 0 investment, I've just hired a Merc. They're the kineticist Merc that was OP 4 leagues ago. Therefore, they're going to be OP right now, right? No. No, that's not the way how PoE works at all. There's things called patches, and patches change the power level of different things. So, unfortunately, a lot of players, right, this is part of why I'm motivated to do this whole thing. A lot of players are just frustrated with the Merc. Rightly so, because there's not enough community resources out there right now explaining, hey, how do you actually use these things? How do you actually make them good through the campaign? How do you transition them from the campaign to maps? How do you, in maps, go from getting a good clear Merc versus having a good boss or Merc? I don't have 4 div to blow on a whatever the meta type of Merc is at the moment. Well, That's okay. There's other ways to actually build the character and progress the character that are not terrible, that are usable and helpful, and you will find actually quite enjoyable. Right? There's a possibility for that. I think I've already got my Ascendancy trials on my other character on this account, I think. But I don't remember. We'll find out once we get to Act 3, won't we? But yeah, there's a lot of misnomers out there. I'm going to ask you all in chat. What are the big complaints you all have seen? I've told you about some of the complaints that I've seen and read. What are the big complaints you've seen from people? What's the FAQ? Like, help me here. Help me here. Your responses are going to go directly into this build guide, okay? Like, there's going to need to be like a FAQ section. Frequently, FAQ is FAQ, right? Frequently asked questions. But then there also needs to be like a common complaints. There you go, CC. About mercs addressed, right? Like, what are the common complaints from people? It doesn't do damage. Well, like, when you're playing a Righteous Fire build, or I'm sorry, if you're playing any build, where is it? Avatar of Fire? Where's Avatar of Fire? Is it up here? Wait, where did Avatar of Fire go? What happened to my brain? Didn't it used to be over here? Avatar of Fire? Here it is. It's down here. It must have been like 10 years ago that it was over here. Maybe it got replaced by Ancestral Bond? Or by Runebender? Anyway. Avatar of Fire says deal no non-fire damage. We all know, like, a basic diagnostic question for players who are like, oh no, all of a sudden my build stopped doing damage. Okay, did you select the Ancestral Bond? Are you using Avatar of Fire with a lightning or cold or physical or chaos-based build, right? Like, there's some just basic checks for common complaints. Very, very basic, rudimentary, like, hey, check these things. It's a little bit like working in IT, right? Some of us in the G3 Discord and some of you watching today work in IT, you know, like, all right, somebody calls you up and has a problem. Have you turned it off? Have you turned it back on again? Is there an update? Are you plugged in or not? Is there still internet connection? There's a checklist of just like standard most common practices because there are most common problems. And so we need to put that together. We need to build that together. We have the opportunity to build that together for the rest of the Path of Exile playing community, being the good guy and gal gamers that we are. We have a chance to help contribute to the community by voicing what are the common community complaints about the class and about the playstyle, and then trying our best to address them. Like, what are the tools that we actually have in game to address problems? And by the way, there are just going to be people who hate this playstyle and who say, no, this playstyle is not for me. That's okay. We don't have to convince everybody this is the best thing, right? Our model for what we're following is Pox, right? Like, Pox doesn't tell everybody they have to play Righteous Fire. He's just made himself and a whole community to be very informed about Righteous Fire and about how it works and about how you can play it in a wide variety of ways. But it doesn't mean everybody plays Righteous Fire, right? Plenty of people don't. Like me. I usually build like one Righteous Fire character per league. Maybe a little less than that. It depends on the league and my time. AOF has a new spot use find. What is AOF? Oh, Avatar of Fire. I gotcha. Yep, it's on a new spot now. I'm with you, Villain. Oh, I love these little goblin guys. Look at him. He's got like his little instrument. He's just so happy. Do I have microtransaction money right now? Where is that little guy? What's his name? Not the fabricated pets. Where's the guy that has the music? Baby Katava? This baby version of Brutus will accompany you? Baby Brutus? I've never seen this before. Baby Thomas. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Where's the singing guys? What are they even called? I would just call them a zap zap zoobity beep bop a doop ba. What are they called? A zap bop boobity beep bop a doop ba. One of you will know what it's called, and you will let me know. And I will be very grateful. Okay, so we got a passive skill point and some respecs. We're going to come down here and use this to go through all 3 of the travel nodes. And now we are 5 passives away from getting the 40% increased against rares. So that's pretty good. So we're going to go kill Weaver now, because we're at what, 15, 16? Those were in a supporter pack. Maybe those for $500? Oh, wow, yikes. I've spent that lifetime on the game, but I have not spent that recently. Yikes. Part of a supporter pack. Okay, that makes sense. Whew. Alright, we're going to keep moving. Weaver is opposite of the waypoint over here. Now that I've run all the way to the other side, remembering that. It's like all my League Start knowledge went out the window after last week. It's like, alright, I got to rush to maps, get to maps, get to maps. Alright, I've got a level 90 plus character. This is fun. Oh, wow, there's a whole bunch of people who don't know how to play mercenaries. Let's go help them. Let's go try and figure it out with them. Anything that I want there? Probably the Vol Orb. Who am I kidding? I've got plenty of currency. Why am I even clicking on things down here? I just need XP. Just need XP and we need to get to Act 3. And then from Act 3, we need to record some different mercenary gameplay. Jump. There we go. What is this zone? Bunch of dead ends down here. Bunch of dead ends. Yikes. Alright, so we're going to come up here. Come over here. Alright, where's the Weaver? The Weaver's not top right. Should be bottom left. That's a dead end. Let's go all the way to bottom left. Let's see. Well, let us go... Well, maybe it's top left, actually. Maybe. Nope. This is going back towards the beginning. Here we go. It's bottom left. Alright, get some more XP. Also, another thing that I like about Spectral Throw is when you Flame Dash away, when you Frost Blink away, when you Leaf Slam away, the damage from it is still out there. It's still traveling on its way back to you. So, it's almost like one swing of your weapon is really worth 2 or 3, which is quite nice. Alright, so after we kill Weaver, we will then go up and kill Caitlyn, I think. I think is where we can kill Caitlyn once we've got Weaver down. Okay, I'm going to spend this passive point because this is worth damage. And Weaver's already taking quite a bit of damage there and has to jump up. That's good news. I guess I could also search on Reddit for what are the most... I could just search mercenaries and just search for just common questions. I think the top ones that I've seen for common questions are, or common complaints are, help, I can't find a good mercenary, right? 2 are, why does my mercenary, same as someone else, not do the same damage or use the same skills, right? That's common complaints. Help. My mercenary does not... My mercenary that's the same as someone else's does not do the same damage or use the same skills. Okay, so help, I can't find a good mercenary. Help, my mercenary doesn't do good damage. Help, I'm dying too often. That's got to be a common complaint as well. That's just a source of frustration that Playing on a character, whether you're playing hardcore or softcore, Iron Man mode or not, solo, self-found, ruthless, it doesn't matter. Like, dying is frustrating, right? In a game where you want your character to be up, active, and doing animations, your character standing still and looking at a death screen doesn't feel good. Regardless of what style of Path of Exile you're playing. Oh, no, are you kidding me? Am I going to crash here? Nope, okay. I thought the Weaver was going to be like, haha, you may slay me, but I will slay thine FPS. I strike at thee from the grave. Alright, so we go and we talk to Silk. This is where we get elemental damage. That's really good. So how much elemental damage do we do? We do a little bit. So we could do this. Right, we could put... Wait. Did we just freeze? What just happened? I think we just froze. I think the Weaver is still taking its revenge on us. An unexpected disconnection occurred. There we go. Boy, it's a good thing we didn't drop a mirror right there. Oh, look, I still have my gem. That's pretty cool. All right, so our damage goes from how much? 246? Wait, is that the same? You're kidding me. They're the exact same? 247.6, 246.7. What? They are 1 damage different. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's gamble for some more items. Let's gamble for some boots. Let's look for armor and evasion boots. Oh, those don't have move speed. 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 Those do have move speed. Those don't have move speed. Okay, let's sell. There we go. Now we put on these boots. Ta-da! Alright. And these boots we sell. And away we go. Alright, what's next? The next thing, I think, we've got some commonly asked problems, common complaints. We've got an FAQ. Where do I find... when do I get my permanent perma-merc? How do I find a perma-merc? What else? Which ascendancies nodes should I take for labs 2 through 4? I think that's probably a pretty good question. That's going to be another, like, another one of, where did our old thing go? That's going to be another one of these questions, right? Where it's really going to depend on which mercenary you're going for and how you want to play and how much currency you've got. Right? About what sorts and styles of mercenary you go with that will inform exactly how you are going to fill out your own ascendancy. Alright, where's Caitlin? Is this leading me all the way back to the beginning? This is leading me all the way back to the beginning. Yep. So Craitlin's all the way at the bottom. What an absolute nerd. Here we go. We do good damage, though. So we can kill stuff, move around. I think the most expensive thing... that's a good question. That's a good question. How much is this build priced at? Also adjacent 4A, what is the entry level cost to get to yellow maps. Or X end game content. For A. For B, these are all questions relating to cost. What is the most expensive? What are the most expensive? What are the most expensive pieces to this build? What are the most expensive pieces? I think those are some good FAQs. I think these are good FAQs. All right, we're going to try and kill Caitlin here. And then by killing Caitlin, we will have some additional elemental resistances when we help a certain lady named Alira. Because we are a filthy witch lover. Alright, Caitlin's amulet. Away we go from there. Okay, I'm going to do a poll. I'm going to ask all of you what you think. How do I word this? Start a poll. What do you... Which style of merc, which playstyle of Luminary is more compelling, fun for you? Is it supporting a merc or being supported? So being supported by a merc. There we go. We're going to start that poll. For us experienced, which is to say old, Aegis Guardian enjoyers, what's minimum investment to AFK Maven? Yeah, there you go. Oh, man. Aegis Guardian. Or what about Aura Stacking Guardian? Right? Maven wasn't around for that. Cirrus was the end game for that. Right? What's the investment for me to be able to dive into Cirrus's storms and still live and out-regen it? Pretty high investment. Does that mean that this build isn't a good starter build? No. You could still use a build as a starter and then get there. It just means if you're going to do the absolute pinnacle content of whatever the patch is of the game at that point in time, expect to have to put in some level of investment into the build, right? That's the way how action RPGs go. That's a defining characteristic of the genre. Alright, so we kill Oak. We're going to see how bad our damage is. Once we get rid of all of his buddies, we can throw down some traps. Oh, his damage is pretty good. So is his regen. I might want to grab a Frostbomb. There we go. The traps are actually going off. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Alright, let's move around and find the waypoint. And then we will go back and help Alira. And that will give us... What is it, 15? I think it's 15% all resist. All LE resist. It's quite good. It's quite cool. See, I'm only level 18 right now, so I'm one level above the zone, so I don't feel like it's too bad killing a magic pack because I have run through so much of the other zones. Is she up here? She's going to be much further down, isn't she? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Here she is. This is why underleveling in some zones is okay, because there's other zones that you're going to be able to catch up in. Alright, so as a Luminary player, we are then going to go to the wetlands go to the roots. What do I need to do again? Oh, I need to go to the Chamber of Sin. That's right. So now we've got all of our resistances. That's right. That's how we do this. We go do Chamber of Sins and kill Videlitas. And then we move forward through the Vol Pyramid and we finish off Act 2. Then we go through Act 3 and we get our Mercenary. And we can really start testing. And we have 20 levels worth of testing. And if we need to, I will de-level on the character. If we need to, in order to showcase things. Because I want to showcase, like, I don't know, fighting Innocence with this one mercenary. Or fighting Katava with this other mercenary. Or I also want to show off some, like, twink gear. Twink gear for mercenaries. Because if players are playing the build as a second character, where they've got currency from a first character that they want to sink into the build, that means you can buy twin gear. And the answer might not always be that twin gear for your character is good, like, for your merc. Like, one thing that I was reading about was somebody talking about finding any bow user and putting Quill Rain on them. And that it was just fantastic. Because the attack speed is so good. So a lot of players have been saying and circulating, like, hey, in general, spellcasters are better than attack users, but attack users are better at the high end, right? Whereas spellcasters are better at the low end early on. And sure, that might still be a truism. But can attack users throughout the campaign actually be quite better if they're bow users if they're using a Quill Rain? If they're using a Void Home. If you get the Earthshatter guy, the snaking guy, what is it? Volcanic Fisher of Snaking. If you get that guy who's a two-hander, and you get a Void Home that has an experience penalty on it, and that's the drawback to it, that could be some sick twink leveling gear, right? This is what I'm talking about here. Where is it? Items. Void Home. Look at this. It requires level 54. So you're at Act 7 by then. Right? Almost to Act, well, you're in Act 8. You're in Act 8. You have 30 to 50% reduced experience gain. That's the drawback. That's not a very big drawback when mercenaries can't gain experience. They have increased damage and increased attack speed. Look at the attack speed on that. 1.88 on a weapon that can roll huge physical damage numbers on. So as long as you roll for a two-handed mercenary, like, Void Home is actually quite good, potentially. I want to test that out. So let's add that. Let's make a list. Let's make a list in our notes section. Uniques to try. Uniques to try. Void Home on a two-handed what is it? Volcanic Fisher of Snaking. Proquill's Toe on Absolution guy. Quill Rain on any bow merc. Right, we want to try that. Isn't there like a one-handed axe or sword that's really ridiculously good early on? What am I thinking of? I don't remember. I do not remember. It's not the princess. The princess isn't that tied to is it the princess? It requires level 10. That's actually got a lot of DPS and attack speed for early on. And then you gain a bunch of physical damage as cold. That's a really super early weapon. It might actually be too low level, because it requires level 10. And gear has got to be within level 20 levels for a merc to use. So that might actually be too low level. So, I don't know. Okay, here's Fidelitas. Here we go. Here, take some bear traps. With your lightning strike. Isn't there a lightning strike, Merc? Maybe not. I thought there was a lightning... Maybe it's Wild Strike. It's Wild Strike that I'm thinking of. And he can deal some damage that's lightning based. Okay, now we could swap over to Sunder if we wanted to. We could. But things are going so well with Spectral Throw. Why would we ever swap off of it? You know, why would we betray this excellent leveling skill that we have available to us? Also, what a two-handed weapon we have. We can take off Precision, I think, at this point, and Vitality. We really just need the mana. We're being greedy here. We just need the mana as we're leveling up. Act 2, I think I probably should say grab... What else were we going to say in the build? We're on a 3-link right now? Right? With elemental damage? So, if going attack-based, right? So, where are we? Act 2... here we go. If you are leveling an attack-based with the attack tree, a two-handed attack-based tree items, then equip elemental damage with attacks. If you've gambled for a decent weapon that has added flat, either that has any flat added elemental damage. Right, we want to say that for Act 2. That's a decent little tip there. You can also start looking for 4 links, right? Start looking for 4 links. Because that's quite big if you are able to get one. Is this a giant dead end? This might be. This might be a giant dead end. Oh, here's a common question. Here's a really common question for links. My link keeps breaking even though I have infinite duration. Oh man, we got to answer this one. Links are stupid this way. Unfortunately. The infinite duration does not prevent your link from breaking due to line of sight or distance. There are times where your link may be inconsistent in remaining attached. The nice thing is, it is instant to cast, and if you need to, you can recall your Merc back to yourself. What's that skill called? Is the skill called like Aid Me or something? I think is what it's called. Or To My Side or something. It's a unique skill. What unlocks them? Hello, beautiful. Well, welcome. To me, the order to me. You can recall your Merc back to yourself using order to me. There you go. That's the skill. Which will teleport the Merc to your location, solving any distance problems in reattaching You're a Link. There we go. All right. So we go from there. Oh, wow. This poll's pretty interesting. This poll is basically 50-50. Wow. That is pretty surprising. Basically 50-50 on whether or not you want to play the build where the Merc is supporting you or you are supporting the Merc. That's fascinating. That there's that diverse of a desire of how to play the build, right? That's pretty cool. I think that, again, is a testament to the design behind the character in general as a concept, right? Like, the concept is really cool that you can play this one Ascendancy multiple ways, and it really is multiple different ways. It's not just the same way sneakily guarded, you know, hey, you can play this as an attack-based character or a spell-based character. That's still a hit-based character, scaling up base damage through the same basic ways. Not that there are any other Ascendancies that are like that. I mean, even my most played Ascendancy of all time, Necromancer, is kind of like that, right? It's like, hey, you're playing a minion-based build. Here's some generic ways to scale minion stuff. And then remember when they tried to make it more specific, and they were like, hey, here's zombie stuff, and here's skeleton stuff. We're going to put it on the Ascendancy. And then a couple leagues later, they were like, actually, we think that playing a minion shouldn't just be tied to your Ascendancy. We want everybody to be able to play Ascendancies. And that's cool. But it was just kind of funny how quickly that vision for the Ascendancy changed. I wonder if there was turnover at the company or what that led to that. That led to such a swift and drastic change of direction for an entire archetype. So, it's kind of interesting. All right, let's see here. So the next things that we need to do are get one more level, which will help us quite a bit. Now, if you didn't want to go with these 4 passive points over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 9 passive points that you could get martial experience earlier on. So you don't have to come down to martial experience after you get all this stuff. You could get it first. And that would potentially have you moving and zooming faster and dealing more damage earlier. That's a possibility. So that's pretty cool. Oh, thank you, by the way, to... thank you to Mina, by the way, for the new Patreon support. Very cool. Need to go send a thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ta-da! Whoa, what happened? What happened? Everything just got resent. There we go. Oh, because I wasn't actually in the message section, that's why. Here we go. Cool stuff. Yes, you do get access to different things and different roles on the Discord server if you're a Patreon supporter, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we move past the Northern Forest. We move through the Northern Forest. We go to eventually Vol Pyramid. Now, one of the things that's tricky, I think that's tricky about ascending on this character is ascending underleveled. I think that's really tricky. I think it's a bad idea because the lab punishes you hard for any lack in your build, right? I think you want to be the same level at least as the zone in the lab. That's my personal approach. Otherwise, you run the risk of running the lab and dying. I think you want to make sure that you've got all of your gear slots filled in, including your chest piece at that point. I think you want to make sure that you've got all of your upgraded flasks. You want them all to be at least magic. Lab is kind of where you start playing the game and going, okay, I better actually have something of a character put together here. Just because one mistake inside the lab means you're rerunning the whole lab. So, and it doesn't matter where you make the mistake, right? So that's why my opinion is that lab is kind of the break point. Anywhere else, if you're unless you're playing hardcore, right? Anywhere else that you're playing, it's like, oh no, I made a mistake and my character died and I have to rerun the zone. Okay, it's a single zone. Oh no, I died to a boss and now, because I died to the boss, I have to what? Click, go to the checkpoint and kill the boss again? The penalties are... I'm not asking for steeper penalties. If you want steeper penalties, go play either hardcore or ruthless. Like, there's plenty of game modes for you if you want harsher penalties. But I'm saying the penalties up until Ascendancy are not harsh enough to make you sit down and go, okay, I really need to make sure that all of my available stuff is tuned and is usable. Whereas once you get there, I think you pretty much need it. Okay, where are we at here? All right. Let's go to the next zone. Look at that. Is it right there? Oh, that's perfect. What a beautiful ancient pyramid. You know, it's rare that the ancient pyramid just gives you a nice jump into the next zone. Oh, look at this. It's doing it again. Look at this. Look at that. This is so super comfy nice. What level am I? 21? I can actually get a couple levels in Sarn. Sarn is actually pretty good to level in. There is the captain, who's a unique monster, which means he actually goes down easier once we get the 40% mastery than magic packs, basically. So that's quite good. And then it's also just very straight. It's very linear. So I like that about that zone. And I think there's always a guaranteed magic pact on either side of the Sarn town, the very first zone of Act 3. I think there's pretty much always a magic pack. I could be mistaken about that. But it seems like whenever you load in on either side of that zone, pretty much usually bad dudes for you to fight. Alright, let's throw down some bear traps here. Throw out some spectral throws. There we go. Got some damage going. I probably could use a weapon upgrade at this point. That's what this is showing me. Okay, he's going to throw some rocks on me. I have 0 physical mitigation right now. Don't even have a chest piece. Oof, I'm dead here. Actually, I wanted him to kill me. Yeah, please kill me. There we go. Refresh my flasks, please. All right, after he does his blue ball attack, he always goes underneath. And then after he goes underneath, he comes up directly underneath you, whatever location you're in. You actually want to be moving before he starts throwing his stuff. There we go. Thank you much. Give me some new flasks. Chill him a little bit. Why don't you just chill, buddy? Flasks are out. Traps are out. Spectral throw is out. And he goes down. There we go. Alright, so we made it to Act 3, and this is where we can both ascend and start testing out some mercenaries, doing all of this that we are doing this whole build guide for. Woohoo! It's exciting. It's a thrilling prospect. My wife looks awake. Wow.
I stepped on a bunch of...
Stepped on some Legos?
Broken dried noodles purchased.
Broken dried noodles. Ouch.
There are a bunch of broken dried noodles in the store.
All right, let's start a new poll. New poll question today. Which hurts more? Here we go. New poll.
Spiral noodles.
New poll.
Specified.
Which hurts more? Which is more painful? Stepping on Legos? Barefoot? Or stepping on dried noodles? Barefoot. Which is more painful? Let's find out from the audience. Survey says... Oh, look at this. Here's a sniper right here. Oh, what a league start that would have been if she just dropped those two for me. Okay, so what does she do? She's got Frenzy, Blink Arrow, Split Arrow, Shrapnel Ballista, Poacher's Mark, and Ensnaring Arrow. She's got Lesser Ironwood on the Totem. She's got Lesser Chance to Bleed. So I guess I just take the item here, right? That's what we do. Do Mercenaries also count as unique or rare monsters, right? For my damage purposes? For my damage boosts? It's too bad we can't hire her. But I think after we defeat her, she'll be ours for the zone, right? That's the way how it works? Yeah, there she is. So she's ours for the zone. So that's quite helpful of her. Have to talk to Clarissa. So, this is not a permanent mercenary, but I think through the campaign she'll stay for more than one zone, potentially. That's a great thing to put in here as a note. FAQ. Yeah, come on in. How long do temporary mercs stay around? Answer. During the campaign, a few zones, at least one, at least the zone you killed them in, and potentially more. Once you are outside of the campaign, only the zone you killed them in. There you go. How long do temporary mercs stay around? There we go. Save. We are answering all sorts of questions here. Hey, just got done with your stream. Stream's going well. There's a whole bunch of us in here today, so it's cool beans. It's cool beans. How did your stream go? Did you take tier? Did you retain Sargoth? Are you a lord of the realm? Well, you are. I guess you are a lord. You're a landed lord of the realm because you've got Sargoth. So you're doing pretty good, as long as your character is alive. Hopefully, it looks like the time that you stopped is at a regularly scheduled stop point for you, and you didn't stop because you died, right? Hopefully, it looks like you're probably doing pretty good. So, okay, so we are trying to build the ultimate Luminary guide. Sargoth is going nowhere. Nice. So you've got it firmly locked down. It's got 400 soldiers in it. Nice. That sounds sufficient. Okay, so from here, we're talking Act 3 now. So let's go back over to POB. So Act 3, we want to copy the generic Act 2 minion. No, attack-based leveling. Manage trees. We want to take this and copy this. We're going to say Act 3, generic attack-based leveling. Ta-da! All right, and from here, I think there's a couple ways that you can go. I think you can come down, where is it? You can go bleeding. If you want to go bleeding, you can do the two-handed for kinetic impact. If you want more defensive, then you can come up, where is it? Where's Iron Skin? Or what is it? Diamond Skin. You can come up here for Diamond Skin. It's kind of good. I got peace with the Nords and the Vigars. Oh, nice. So that should relieve immediate pressure, right? It's just the Sultanate that's around you now, right? So Diamond Skin, there's kind of a couple different ways you can go. I think increased damage with two-handed is the way to go. That's my opinion. Normally I would complain about going to peace, but it really let me stockpile a garrison. Well, and secure your holding, right? Since that's a victory condition for you. So I think we go up to, what level are we at right now? 22. And so we need to be minimum 33, so that's 11 skill points. And then we get at least 2 skill points here. So what is that, 13 skill points? Or so, 14 skill points? And I've got 27 spent. So with 13 more skill points, we could come here for 5 points to kinetic impact, which is quite a lot. It's... That's a lot. Then we come through Diamond Skin. How many is this? This is, if I take this away, it's 8 points. So this gets us up to 35 from 27. And so we would have... That's only 8 points. So we've got 3 more points that we can spend. Go regen, elemental resistances, and through here, because we're eventually going to make our way towards Resolute Technique. So that way we're actually doing damage on this Act 3. Oh, whoops. Let's rename this. Manage trees. Rename this to Act 3. There we go. Rename this Act 2. Because I actually made the changes onto the Act 3 one. Move this one down. There we go. Alright, rename this. There we go. Should be good now. Should be good. Okay, that gives us more damage and also more resists across the board. Alright, enjoy your meal. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad to hear the update that you are doing well. That Sargoth remains loyal. Oh, also, we could get Unwavering Stance for no stun. But I actually don't think no stun is very good early on. I've changed my mind a lot on that. Part of the reason why I don't like taking it early as a passive point, even when I'm right next to it, is basically I'm already stunned by attacking. And I shouldn't ever be close enough to something that I get stunned. Right? Stun locked, certainly. Like, I have enough mobility. I should be getting away from anything that's hitting me fast enough and hard enough to stun me. So if I'm getting stunned, I kind of see it as a player issue rather than a build issue. But it's right there if you want it. It's right there as an option. Help, I'm getting stunned. What do? You're right next to Unwavering Stance. You can take it. So it's quite a nice option. All right, so we go into Crematorium. I don't know if I got I think I did get Crematorium because I did level up. See, I did ascend on my other character. Yeah, I did. So I've got all my ascendancies. So this character can ascend when it is the proper time. And then we can start messing around with mercenaries. So we're going to go from here to grab some two-hander damage. Once I can start gambling with gold, remember, gambling in face-to-face life destroys your soul. Don't do it. Gambling in PoE, very good. Upgrades your character. Do it early, do it often. See, look at these. These guys are both uniques. Look at how quickly they go down. Look at that. Look at that. These guys normally take forever to kill. That's like a blue pack with the 40% increased against rare and uniques. It's quite good. It's so helpful to either rush it right away for Act 2 or just to use it and take advantage of it for Act 3. Okay, that's weird that the League mechanic is there at a dead end. It usually points the way forward. Huh. Somehow this zone, it got confused. Okay, so Piety is on the same side as the Trial. Interesting. There we go. See, the unique guy actually went down faster than this magic pack. This magic pack, the golems have all the extra life. So, they're actually tougher to take down. Rather humorous to watch a unique monster die faster than a magic monster. Alright, Piety is this way? This way? Yes, okay, but I no longer have my Merc. So the Merc lasted me, what, 2 zones? It lasted me in the city, and then... where else? In the city, and then towards the crematorium, right? We're using it. I probably don't need to be using Herald of Ash at this point. I wonder how much damage Herald of Ash is actually doing me. Probably not that much. But we should look for a weapon upgrade here pretty soon. That's definitely a priority. Here we go. Throw some traps. Did the traps do more damage than my Spectral Throw? Yeah, 4-link is going to be good here. Whenever we can find one, a 4-link will be helpful. Enough of this! There we go. Okay. Down goes Piety. Grab Tolman. Go back to town. Grab the keys. Say thank you, please.
See you.
Identify items. Thank you.
See you.
Alright, anything I can use? Yep, here's an upgrade. Give that back to guild. Ta-da! Whoops. That's not supposed to go there. It's supposed to go in the affinity tab. Why is that not... Yeah, it's supposed to be affinity for flasks. Hokey smokes. It's supposed to be affinity for gems. It's supposed to be affinity for blight. It's supposed to be affinity for maps. Oh, man. This is what happens. This is what happens when I neglect the guild stash. Alright, Hargan, he's got a discussion point. And then Clarissa, she gives us... Zealotry could be quite good, especially with the Absolution. Lots of consecrated ground, which gives good regen early, and then also more spell damage. That could be quite good. See, basically there's a mercenary for each of the auras. Right? Because there's a Chaos Dot mercenary for Malevolence. There's I'm trying to think what else. Fizz is extra cold. That can be used by anybody that's Fizz. Wrath, that can be used by anybody. Like, there's a number of these good mercs. Or there's a number of these mercs that if you build them with specificity, they can be quite good. Okay, Act 3. Let's go to generic minion-based leveling. Let's manage trees. Let's copy this. Make sure it's the correct one. We're going to say Act 3, generic minion-based leveling. We're going to go there, and we're going to say this was... Oh, no. This was Act 2? Act 2. I thought we did Act 2. Oh, no, I swapped it again. I did all my changes onto the Act 1 one. Okay, let's go here. Generic minion. Rename this to Act 2. Name this one to Act 1. Switch them. Alright, we're going to put the attacks first and then minions. And then we're going to rename this the correct name. There we go. Okay, and then 3. We're going to go to 3. Where is 3? 3 we're going to delete because we copied it from the wrong one. Oh, that's funny. We're going to go to 2 now. We're going to go to 2. Is 2 correct? Does 2 exist? Yes, 2 is correct. Okay, now we're going to manage the trees. Now we're going to copy this tree. We're going to say Act 3. And done. Now, I think we said we went up to 38. So we're going to spend up to 38 here. This is getting good. This is... we got a lot of options here. Okay, I think we come through here, though. I think this is the way to go. Come through. So that way we can start either using the Sovereignty Wheel or come down and start using Redemption. That's 37 points. That's 38 points right there. We could use a Mastery in here. Minions Leech, Convocation. Minions Recover. There's all sorts of things that we could do with this amount. I think this is the way to go, though. I think this is 38. Because really what you're doing, if you're going minions, you're ramping up from SRS to then eventually Spectres in Act 3. Right? That's what you're ramping towards. Okay, who is it who gambles in Act 3? Okay, it's Maramora. I can't ever say her name. That is not her problem. It is my problem. I will work on it. All right, so gambling. Act 1, or Silk in Act 2, or... Okay, how do you even spell Mamora's name? Mara Moa. Here we go. Mara Moa. In Act 3... Oh, we need to shift this down. Shift this over. Shift this down. Shift this over. There we go. All right, save that. All right, we are compiling our POB. Let's gamble for items here. All right, so we would like an iron ring. Actually, both of our iron rings add damage to things. We really would like a new weapon. Can you give me a new weapon, please? A good new weapon, please. That is not a good new weapon. I would like a good new weapon, please. Limb split. Is that good? What? No, it's actually... I didn't even realize you could gamble and get unique items. That's a new thing. That's new to me. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty alright with that. Yeah, that's going to be quite a damage increase. So our damage right now is 282. If I swap that off... It's also got Culling Strike on it. We go up to 386. It's not quite double our damage, but almost. Okay, so we can sell these items now. So yeah, just gamble with Malmora and get like a super good upgrade. Then we want to probably try to go for an upgrade on our gloves and our chest piece. So let's do a Clarissa reward. What's the main source of damage that we're dealing? It's physical. Well, with a little bit of Herald of Fire. So I'm not too worried about this right now. Let's gamble for items again. I want an AFK Aurabot for my Merc, says Steve. Welcome, Steve. That is an excellent playstyle to aim for. That's ultimately what I'm doing on my other character, on my other account. Is the AFK Aurabot. I can go in and basically AFK the Elder and just farm Watcher's Eyes. It's pretty fun. So it is doable. Now I want to test and see how many other sorts of mercenary archetypes you can do that on, other than just the Flame Link Life Stacker. Let's aim for some gloves. Let's do some armor and evasion gloves. Fizz to dex. Fizz to attacks. That's good. I like the 4 to 7 fizz to attacks. That's a lot. Ooh, that's a lot of cold damage as well. What else do we got? Those are all 3s. All right, let's sell all of these except for the one that rolled 6 to 10. And then let's gamble for... Do we want to gamble for a chess piece? Sure, let's do it. What do we get? Life? I guess that's good. That's a lot more life. There we go. There's a 4-link. Alright, let's swap out our gloves. For Leap Slam, Herald of Ash, I can now grab faster attacks. We've also got Spectral Throw. We've got Prismatic Burst. Elemental attacks. We want faster attacks, and what else do we want? Faster attacks are over here in Act 2. So we want to add that in onto the build guide, right? Movement abilities, recommend shield charge. Not using Leap Slam is available starting level 10. Faster attacks. I need to capitalize this. Is available in Act 2 for various... And should be linked with your attack-based movement skill ASAP. Alright, faster attacks is this. We do, whoops. We highlight it, and we make it green. There we go. Alright, faster attacks. Can I not get faster attacks? No, it's Act 1? It's Act 1 after we do the gateway thing. It's Act 1. Hello, Nessa. There it is. On with Leap Slam. Anything else that I want over here? Added fire damage. Fizz is extra fire. That could be good. I think the... Where did my added lightning go? Here we go. This requires 31 intelligence. I don't have that amount of intelligence. It doesn't do that much elemental damage, actually. Most of that elemental damage is coming from our gloves, I think. The gloves that give me a little bit of fire and a little bit of cold. Oh, it's faster to go through town. 100%. Alright, so we're going to go through town. The thing about aura botting for your merc, even that, there's multiple ways to set it up, right? You can aura bot where you're life stacking and you go flame link. You can also just old-fashioned aura bot, right? Like, hey, I want 90 resistances across the board. I want to give 3 or 4 or 5 supercharged offensive auras and defensive auras to me and my merc, and just let my merc carry. I think that's going to be viable. I actually, when I was leveling up my level 90 plus or whatever Scion on my other account, I actually for a time leveled up using Alpha's Howl, using Victario's as the chess piece, giving generosity to a couple of different damage auras. You can do it. It's not a bad way to go, especially early on and on a budget. I was thinking Flame Link and as many auras as possible and just help people with their maps. Yeah, you can do that. Why not? Right? That's it. That used to be a lot of the multiplayer sided, aspect of PoE. You'd go into, what was it, Act 4 and do dried lake farming. And you just look for public groups and you join in and you share XP, and that was back when, what was it, Act 4 was the end of the game. That was when Act 4 was the equivalent of what Blood Aquas is now. There we go. Alright, down goes the Rogue Exile. I wonder if there's a way to play a discharge merc. I wonder if there's a way to do it. Also, I'd like to see about an Obliteration Wand merc. Get a Wander, get something going, and then give it Obliteration Wands. See if you couldn't get some decent pops going across the screen. I think it could work. This is what's so exciting about the merc, right? Is so many things that are possible for the player character are also possible for the merc, but now they're going to have a juiced player character alongside them, boosting them. And that just was not possible before. So I think it's a very, very promising and exciting archetype. So it's why we need community resources that help players experience the new levels of power available and play styles that are enjoyable through the mercenary Luminary Ascendancy. Alright, did I already get all 3 busts? Yes, I did. Okay. We are moving forward then. Onward to the next zone! Alright, from here, these nodes are not quite as important. Well, is it more important for me to get Diamond Skin right now with my damage? I think it is. I think it's more important to get Diamond Skin than it is to get Kinetic Impacts right now. My damage is good. It feels fine. It's more important that I go into lab with more health and more resistances. Both of which I do not currently have very much of. So, I think that should be the priority. It's getting some more HP on the tree. And getting some more resistances on the tree. And that's a good way to showcase things. Okay. I think one of the things that I'm going to have to say about testing these mercs out is I am going to use my currency that I've made on my other characters to purchase probably mercenaries. Well, if I'm within 10 levels of the zone, though, I can just farm the same zones, just like any other player would have to experience, right? We can farm those zones and talk about that experience of looking for the mercenaries. That could be a thing. Alright, let's come up here to the temple. Why, hello, folks. What level are we? We're 2 levels behind, so that's not bad. That's a couple runs in the city of Sarn if we need to catch up. Not bad at all. So we're going to come through here, because this is going to be 25% worth of resistances when we come through here. That's going to give us minimum of something, 45 resistance for elemental resistances. That's decent when we go into the lab. It's a decent amount. And I can always craft some as well if I need to. I can always craft onto some of this garbage gear that we've got to level with. Whoop, that's a long dead end. Alright, so Upper Scepter of the God is where we can start farming mercenaries, but we want to be at least like level 33 before then. So that way as we're farming mercenaries, we can actually have them be permanent. What is a good zone early on? That's a good question for us for testing purposes. What's a good zone to use to showcase what early mercenaries can do? Is it just going to be a straight zone like City of Sarn? It could be. If you're just joining us today, by the way, welcome. It's good to have you. We are building out a Luminary build guide, an introductory build guide. I don't want to call it comprehensive because it's tough to be comprehensive in anything like Path of Exile with this level of complexity and iterations possible. But I do want to have like an introductory kind of overview watching guide providing info for players who want to play as Luminaries, all the info that's out there as a one-stop shop hub. And so we're putting together a POB that will help players as they're leveling and choosing things. And then we'll need to also put some other info out. We might use a Discord channel or something like that. And then I'm going to obviously host some videos that will speak to the different particularities and different questions and different ways that you can play mercs. So that's what we're doing today. We're farming up a fresh character to show what low-level mercs can do throughout the campaign and to be able to record some of the video footage so that way we can use that for future videos discussing the different mercs. And then the other things that we're doing is we're trying to answer questions about mercs throughout the day for folks who have got questions. We've also got a poll question right now that is up, which the question is, which is more painful, stepping on Legos barefoot or stepping on dried noodles? That was the experience of my beautiful wife today. Spiral noodles. Yeah, stepping on dry noodles. Quite painful. Oh, I did not grab the battlefront as a waypoint. What a fool I am. Okay, we go over here. That's okay. We'll get some kills as we run through here. Ding. We'll ding a level. See, look at this. This unique axe is actually pretty good. I should probably take out weapon elemental damage because that's not going to be as good. What else would be decent on Spectral Throw? Even chance to bleed would be better, right? I think even chance to bleed would be better because it's got some physical scaling. Whereas right now I'm not scaling anything with physical. Fizz's lightning would even be good. Is she awake? There you go. Alright, here we go. Diamond skin gives us another 15%, so we're 35, 51, 65. That's decent. We can fight some magic pack to get some more XP. We can fight this essence to give us some more essence, to give us a rare. I think I'll probably use this on a ring. It's a contempt. Is that lightning? Is contempt lightning? I don't remember. Alright, we are 3 levels now below the zone, so we're going to kill some stuff. There's plenty of stuff for us to kill, so we're going to do it. Oh, that was pretty cool. Leap Slam actually killed something just on its own. That's pretty good damage when your movement skill is providing the damage you need. That's pretty fun, even if that is only a white pack. Alright, that's a blue. These are white. It's always confusing in here for me with the weird level of... I don't have color blindness, but I've just got some strange tints to what I see. It's always weird to look at these guys because I know they're blue, but they look the same to me as the magic packs when the magic packs of them are blue. So whenever I see anybody in the docks, I'm like, oh, it's a magic pack. But it's not actually a magic pack. It's just blue guys who could or could not be magic. So I don't know if that holds true for anybody else, but it's a little confusing. Alright, give this to Fairgraves. Fairgraves is all happy with us. Go back up, talk to Madame Diala, tell her I'm not a cockroach. And then we're gonna grab intelligence. Because I'm probably way behind on intelligence. We're gonna go turn in the busts, and that's gonna give us another passive point. And so with multiple passive points now that are invested, we're going to go identify items. That's good. It's cold damage to attacks. And it's intelligence. We didn't need that dexterity, apparently. We're going to go sell this stuff. We're going to equip this. We're going to give this back to the guild. Is this? Yep, this is prioritized. This we're going to use on a ring. Come on in. Are my gems set up here? Yep, they are. Hello! Oh, okay. Alright, let's look for... That is not better. We could use this for right here, for fire and lightning. Let's try it. What does this do on jewelry? It adds physical. Let's do it. Add some more physical. Granted attack speed. That's good. That's good. It replaces... Actually, it's a little bit of a DPS loss. Barely. But that's alright. Okay, with 2 more passives to spend, we're going to go with the regen and the all elemental resistances. We're going to go here to the Infernal Talc and use it to blow up the Undying Blockage. And then we go fight Gravicius. Okay. So at this point, uniques to try. Void Home on a 2-handed, Perkle's Toe, Quill Rain. Obliteration. Obliteration wands. Obliteration on a wander. Be kind of fun. Maybe on the Kinetic Blast one. But she probably now has like 0 base damage. Are there other wanders besides the Kinetic Blast character now? I need to go check. I need to read up on the PoE Wikia. Do the reading. So that way I can be of help. Alright, here's a magic pack. Ooh, not so sure about my damage right now. Damage is not very good. We're not even breaking his molten shell. Not even breaking his energy shield now. Okay. Here come the giant fireballs from the sky. Ah! Alright, now we're doing some damage to him. I wonder if I wasn't hitting him for a second. Maybe. What is my chance to hit? It's 100%. So no, I was hitting him. Maybe he has a larger ES pool than health pool, so it didn't look like I was doing anything to him. It's quite possible. Okay. Oh wow. Stepping on Legos barefoot is coming in now, just barely edging out hard dried noodles. 60% on the poll say it hurts more to step on a Lego than it does to step on dried noodles. I'm not closing that yet. If somebody drops by and this is their first time hanging out with the old bald bearded guy, that's the question that I want them to remember as the first moment we met. So that way in 10 years when we're talking together, as many of you have said, Iron, do you remember the first time we hung out? Do you remember the first time we chatted? Do you remember the first league we played? I want the answer to be yes. Yes. It was that first time that you saw that famed question in chat.
I think the difference is the noodle breaks under your foot.
Oh, my wife says the difference is that the noodle breaks under your foot. So you get some relief. But maybe you could actually argue that that's more painful because now you have several splintered shards of a dried noodle that are now impacting multiple portions of your foot.
That is true. I went upstairs and the dog got two noodles because they were stuck in my foot.
Because they were stuck to your foot. Exactly. At least the Lego, you know, you step on it and it is forgiving enough that it doesn't apply itself to your skin with any level of attempt of permanency, right?
Well, most of the Legos I constructed for are like circular and tiny.
Smallish.
The don't. The big
Yeah,
ones
you can kind of avoid the larger ones. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the fact that the noodle can split and become essentially shrapnel for your foot, that's pretty...
Spiral ones. They have lots of pokey edges.
Lots of pokey edges. I think that hurts. I think it's got a shot, I think. 60% of the people say Legos. That means 40% of the people agree. And it's the spiked noodles. You know, we also should have put it in as a disclaimer. Have you ever stepped on a Lego or on a dried noodle? You know, I'm sure a lot of people have stepped on Legos. I bet there are more people out there who have stepped on Legos than have stepped on dried noodles. You know? That would be my assumption. Even though noodles are far more widely available than Legos. That would be my guess.
Most people don't talk like...
I wonder if one way to build this out is actually to build it out almost as a Spectromancer. And you spec into as many Spectres as you can. For auras, right? We're talking like the Zealotry aura, the Haste aura, the... I don't even know what else. Just as many offensive auras that can cut like the punishment. These monsters in this zone actually cast punishment. Maybe you go for the specters that can use temporary temporal shields and block projectiles. That could be pretty good. Look at how good this temporary merc is, by the way. She's pretty much killing most of this stuff, not me. She's pretty good. Look, I am actually not going to attack. I'm just going to let her attack. Let's see how it goes. Imagine if instead of using, you know, Herald of Ash right now and Precision and Clarity, imagine if I was using any other, you know, auras that would boost this particular merc. Okay, her single target isn't great. Alright, let's see what it's like against Piety. Let's see. We'll see what her damage is like. And not the greatest. My damage is definitely better at the moment. And so this is something we were talking about earlier, right? If your damage is good, you should probably not swap off of your good damage just for the sake of having a mercenary who has really bad damage and can't advance your character. Like, there is a balance between those two things. Okay, let's go here. Whoops. Log in, play. There we go. All right, let's go turn stuff in. What do we get? We get Cyclone. Like, what about a Cyclone build? Do you remember the old Cyclone builds that would cast while channeling and use the offering skills? That could be good. What about cast while channeling support in some way, right? You're using cast while channeling and you're casting something that is constantly debuffing enemies. Maybe that's a way to go. Okay, so we're almost to the spot where we can ascend. We're a couple levels below, but we're getting passives here. And then once we can ascend, we will be able to try out the different mercs. And that's what we're aiming to do. That's the exciting part of the day. So let's go to the Ebony Barracks. This is actually the same level zone that we're in, that we are. So we can go to the Imperial Gardens. Do you need me to get something for you, dear? So let's go Imperial Gardens.
Do you like the holder so I can get myself out of its chair?
Sure.
You know, like how they make the jokes about the reclining chairs? And like that you fly out. I feel like there you go. Her chair is just coming. I feel like it's really loose.
Okay.
For future.
So maybe we need to do some chair maintenance. Hello, beautiful.
I just can't get out of a recliner where they're on me yet.
You looking for your mama? Looking for your mama? Mwah. Big girl. Big girl, say hello to YouTube. Say hello. Okay, go find mama. It's almost pizza time, huh? They're making pizzas. That's exciting. All right. That's exciting.
There's a box.
All right, let's go here. Whoops. Let's move this over here. There we go. All right, let's move this down. All right. I think once we hit level 33 and once we level up to the appropriate level to do the Ascendancy, we do the Ascendancy and then we farm the Upper Scepter of God. We show people what that looks like. I think that's the way to do it. I think so. You know what? I'm actually glad that I didn't have enough gold to buy 7 League Step and that I'm doing this almost as though it was a fresh run. Because anybody who watches this as a VOD, like, is going to have to look back and realize that I guess technically, right, like I was able to buy a couple gems. Not on League Start economy because I had currency already to buy some gems. But basically this is on League Start economy. Okay, so we've got the Scepter of God. We're going to go find the waypoint. We're probably going to find a mercenary right away. That would be kind of actually not so good. Not so great, I guess. Oh, we got frozen. We could be running a Purity right now. Could be doing that. Purity of Elements. Which would be really good, because there's a lot of stuff inside the tower that actually freezes. There's a lot of natural monsters that spawn in here that like to freeze. But, anyway. Find the waypoint for Upper Scepter of God. I think that's the play. And then once you have the waypoint, then you can go back and get some more levels. Do whatever you want levels-wise. And then you can just be farming here for your permanent merc. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to spend extra time in here unascended. Right? So just go to get the waypoint if you need the levels. Otherwise, you could level elsewhere. Even if you didn't want to be in here. Because it would feel awful if you went to the zone, found a merc that you wanted to hire. That would just feel bad. If the one merc you find is the one merc that you were looking for, hoping to level with. You found them right away, but you found them while you were looking for the waypoint and you weren't able to use them. For me, that situation can't happen right now because we're literally just going to go through this zone looking at different mercs. I guess contracts for mercs won't matter pre-maps, right? Contracts won't guarantee. Huh. So how are we going to solve that? I guess it's just organic farming through the campaign. Because we won't be able to buy low-level warrants. I wonder what the lowest level warrant is. Because you can buy a warrant that you can put in your map device, but you have to put it in your map device. If you don't have access to your map device because you haven't killed Kitava the second time, then you won't have access to it. Okay, so there's there's the waypoint. So we got that done. Let's go kill the magic pack. Remember what we were talking about, how there's always a magic pack here at the start of Sarn? It's always nice. So down goes the magic pack. And then there's the unique boss up here. The unique captain. What's his name? Guard Captain. He doesn't even get a name. He's just Guard Captain. In PoE 2, this guy would have a backstory, a family, and 3 years of college debt to pay off. Not in PoE 1. He's just Guard Captain. He's the guy in front of Clarissa. He's between you and the city of Sarn. You gotta get past him first. Yeah, I'm sure there's better links that I could be using right now, actually. These links are not... Remember what we were talking about? How once you go to the Ascendancies, you want to, you know, actually make sure you kind of sort of have a real build at that point. I don't think we're at that stage. Okay, so we're leveling with the two-handed tree. What else do we want to do here as we build this notes section? Skill gems, Act 1 through 3, pre-perma merc, how you're leveling, gambling. I think we've kind of hit everything. Act 3. Act 3, links and passive suggestions. If you are leveling with a minion-based tree, you can look for, I forget what it's called. Where was our generic minion-based tree? You're going to look for Sacrifice, Spiritual Command, and Lord of the Dead. You will look to fill out your tree with Sacrifice. What is it? Lord of the Dead and something else? Spiritual Command. Spiritual Command, and Lord of the Dead. There we go. This is all prep for when you have access to raise Spectre. This skill gem becomes available at level 28. And the strongest, and one of the best early clear setups is for a, what are they called? Flame Sentinels? Flame Sentinels from the Lunaris Temple. Supported with any projectile supports and any flat damage supports. Ta-da! Flat damage or percent damage supports that are elemental based. That are elemental. There we go. That's good. Let's save and continue on. We shall continue building the Luminary Beginner Mercenary Pre-Perma-Merc section of the Beginner Introductory Build Guide for beginner players of the Luminary skill. And we shall assemble all of our knowledge. Oh, a striker. Here we go. Nice. This guy could be good. One of the misnomers that I have seen clarified, and I would like to experience it myself, is about move speed, because I have even spread that on the channel that you want to essentially get mercenaries without movement skills. And I think that's still generally true, but it's not true for melee mercenaries. For melee mercenaries, you actually want to find melee mercenaries that have at least one movement skill, because look, they use it as a gap closer to get in range. And so if you're wondering, like, hey, what's faster for my mercenary? Is it better for my mercenary to be walking super slow, or using dash or teleport or leap slam or mirror arrow? Like, what is better for them to actually get into range, so that way they can actually use their skills? I think that'll be an interesting thing to test, to see whether or not for melee mercs, if using their movement skills is actually helpful in gap closing and getting into range to use their damage dealing skills. That'll be interesting to see. Alright, let's do one more City of Sarn. And then we will be roughly 25% to 31. I think. We should be around there. And we've got a mercenary with us too, so if he would actually attack, my goodness, he's just running around. So his double strike animation is kind of interesting, because it looks like he runs up and shouts first. Oh, and he's got a decoy totem. So he's actually dropping the decoy totem first. So see, that could be pretty useful as a utility merc. I could see that as being helpful. Not as a damage dealer, but as a utility guy, somebody who's dropping down decoy totems all the time, that could be helpful. Make your choice. Alright, she's got 2 movement skills. So we'll see how this goes. She's over here. Thanks. It looked like my merc actually knew which one to hit. That's kind of cool. That's pretty good. Okay, let's go to... Where do I want to go to farm? Let's go to Ebony Barracks. Here we go. Look at that. A magic pack right away. Excellent. And with our mercenary who can attack. Excellent. What do we drop? Ooh. This is a ring that gives physical damage. Is it called the Black Cart ring? I forget. But it's good. It's a good ring. It's got a good ring to it. Alright, so we go past up here. We fight the magic pack. We don't really care about killing Gravicius again, but we'll kill the magic pack. There we go. See you, Gravicius. It was nice smelling ya. Okay, there's usually some packs up here. Usually. Nope, she's already killing them. Nice. Alright, let's see if she stays with us. Is she still with us? She's still with us. Alright, so we're actually going to fight this zone then, because we've got our merc. And she's going to help us clear this faster and get our level faster. Which is good. And then we can begin testing Suna with our Ascendant status as a Scion, as a Luminary. I don't think they use mana, do they? I don't think they spend mana or life for their skills. I think mercenary skills are purely cooldown based. The reason why I asked that, or bring that up, is because I was thinking for a second, what about Indigo? What about crafting like a bunch of mana based rares and then using the helmet? And then going with like some ridiculous level of cast speed and mana, so that way they're just constantly casting. and ramping up their damage. I don't think that works, though, because I don't think they have mana. Fine, you lead. I'll cover you. They do have some fun dialogue. Alright, I don't just need to run through this zone because we're actually looking to kill stuff here. Yep. Wherever there's a pack, we want it dead. Oh, she also drops ballista totems. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nifty. It's pretty helpful. Yeah, I wonder, maybe the way to think about luminaries really is the same way to think about minions as an archetype, right? It's going to become a Swiss Army knife of just do whatever you want. Find whatever 2 mechanics or 3 mechanics that you can layer through a couple of different... oh, we lost our merc. Through different combinations of unique items, and then rock and roll from there. Huh. Oof, these guys hurt. These guys hurt quite a bit. Alright. Oof. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, there we go. I think we're getting close. Yeah, we're 31. This is a 31 zone, so we're getting close. I think I usually get a level or 2 in the lab. I think it's usually at least 1 level. So I can go in and start it at 32 and then see how we do. Alright. Anything that I wanted? Vol Molten Strike? No, don't care. Alright, so that's a good note. That is a good note. We just learned something about mercenaries. Temporary mercenaries... temporary mercenaries do not persist. Like, they count Vol zones as a side zone. We need, like, a FYI section in addition to the FAQ section. FYI. Temporary... Temp mercs count Vol side areas as a new zone. This means when you leave a zone to enter a Vol side area, you run the risk of losing your temporary merc. Also, when you return to your first area, to the pre-Vol side area zone, your merc will not reappear if they already had disappeared. There we go. That's the way to state that. Right? You can lose your temporary mercs by going into Vol side areas. That's what we want to let people know. So that's good to confirm that. See, we're learning things. All the time, we're learning things. All the time, we're learning things. Alright, there's a unique guy, Spine Crack, but look at him go down. Just a couple of throws, a spectral throw. Down goes Spine Crack. What a great name. That should be the name of a PoE chiropractor. Or a masseuse. Spine tickler. Spine dangler. These are all great names for various vertebrae-related professions and character names. See, white maps or white packs are dying to the leap slam. So that makes me want to say the damage is good. The damage is fine. But blue packs, it takes a couple of throws of spectral throw. And that makes me say, oh, maybe I need to upgrade. But maybe not. Okay, here comes a blue pack. Oh, I can't make that jump? Why can't I make that jump? Because I'm bad, that's why. Being bad makes it hard to make the jump. There we go. A coral ring coral. Alright, where do we need to go? We go in the middle? We go to the bottom. Because actually it looks like the way forward. Not that we need to progress to piety, we're just killing monsters as they're here. Right? There we go. Are there monsters over here? There's no monsters over here? Okay, I'm about ready to reset the zone. Okay, there's magic pack. Alright, we're getting some monsters. Here we go. No need to complain. Just be patient. There we go. There's some more monsters. Good stuff. These all require intelligence? Or levels, okay. That many gems all at once. Probably levels, right? Alright, so once we ding 32... we should ding 32 here with the magic pack at the top of the stairs. Oh, magic pack. Oh, magic pack. That's outside Piety's domain. Oh, so close. So close. I'm not going in there and fighting Piety. We will ding our level going in and fighting our ascendancy. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so what other things do we want to grab here before we go in? We've got some stuff here. Maybe I'll gamble for a new belt. Blackheart. Ooh, that's a lot of chaos damage to attacks. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. It is called Blackheart. I'm glad I remembered that. That's cool. It's cool when you remember things. Okay, what else? What else are we potentially concerned about going in there? Probably our life, I would think. Yeah, probably life.
We've made a trade.
Our life is atrocious. Where did I put my crafting table? Here's my crafting bench. Okay. Can I craft life onto this? Yes, I can. We're going to craft some life. Can I craft some life onto this? Yes, I can. Can I craft some life onto this? I can actually regal slam this. Okay, can I craft some life onto this? Yes, I can. We're just going to have all of this gear that's got 20 life on it. Oh, look at that. We can put some more life on there. And some more life. We just crafted so much stuff with just life. Oh, that's funny. This has already rolled life on it, unfortunately. Okay, the helm. The helm is hopeless. Holy smokes. Let's go gamble for a new helm. That's what we should do. We should gamble for a new helm.
Yes.
Gamble for items. Helm. Helm. Let's go armor helm. Let's see here. I've got some gold. Let's use some gold. 19 life over there. Double resists. 73 life? Yeah, that's going on. We're wearing that. That's what we are wearing. This is so good. This is so good. Okay, what am I even wearing on here? Clarity. And what else? Precision. I I could be wearing Herald of Ash. What does quality give you? Burning is an additional percentage of overkill damage. Woo-wee. Okay, what about a belt? No, I just crafted on my belt. We're good on the belt. We're good on this. We're good. We're good, good, good. Okay, let's go in. Let's touch the Ascendancy stuff. This is going to be level 32, right? Oh, no, that's int. This is levels, though, right? Yeah, this is levels. All right, let's see. Are we gonna get rocked here by Azaro? Potentially. Potentially, we're about to get rocked. Let's go kill some magic packs. But if we don't get rocked, then we get to go start farming our mercenaries. It's gonna be quite fun. And we're gonna test out all sorts of things. Is there a mercenary you in particular, chat, are looking to see tested? Is there a particular mercenary type that you would like to see tested? I've got just general curiosities. I don't think I have anything like super in particular. I'm like, oh, I want to really know this one particular type. There's a few. I think there's a few that kind of pique my interest in general. One of them being the combatant. Another of them being the Blade Ambusher. I would like to see if the trapping assassin style shadow can actually be good. I'd like to see that. My damage is pathetic here. This is really bad. Look at how bad this damage is. This is because I think it's because I'm a level below it. I think that's at least part of it. I might as well just die and go get some decent gear. Look how long is it going to take to kill him and clear it. And how sweaty it's going to be. Ugh. Just kill me, Azaro. Look at this. Look at my flasks. If he hits me with one of those, I'm going down. Oh my goodness. If he slams me too, and he's got the goddess on him, this is not good news. Whew. Look at how bad this is. Alright, so this is the first time where I've gone, okay, it would have been nice to be a summoner. That's the first moment where I'm like, oh man, I wish I was SRS. Leave me alone, I'm sitting in a corner. Go fight my minions. Oh boy. Okie doke. When the time comes to strike, an emperor destroys the stupid scion who's trying to fight him. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die here. I think. Maybe not. Let's be positive. Try to keep it positive, summoners. I'm gonna get swung on and crushed. Clarity's helpful. Just keep moving in a circular pattern. Pretend he is the crab. Pretend he is the dweller of the deep. And just keep moving in circular motions. Ooh, did I get slowed there? Yeah, I got chilled. Like, why can't I move? It's because he's being a meanie. Show me your resolve. My resolve is to play mercenaries, sir. To not play Spectral Throw for the rest of my days. That is my resolve. Alright, so we're halfway to another level. We should ding a level here. Ish. On our way to the third fight. I think we'll ding a level. Maybe I'm going to have to full clear the entire Ascendancy zone. I'm actually farming Azaro's land. Can I make it through here? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Yep. Alright, can we make it through here? Maybe, maybe, yep. Nice. Whoop. Watch for those guys. Watch the discharge guy. Discharge guy gonna shock you. Yep, we are lightning exposed. But that's okay. We survived it. I think I actually want to kill some more stuff. That's a trap zone. Is there any more monsters over here? Or just more traps? I think probably just more traps. Oh, what about traps of monsters? Haha! Unexpected. Surprised. Okay, that's just a trap zone. And that's a treasure trap zone. So we will avoid. Ah, there's a monster. Hello there. Alright, on to the Sepulchre Passage. Oh, this is almost the final zone. I might not get my level here. That's okay. If we get our Ascendancy, that's fine. But I think, I genuinely think the game always feels like there's different scaling when he's actually at your level instead of being above your level. Maybe it's just a placebo effect in my brain. Oh no, he's gonna get the ghost. This guy's about to kill me. Nope. Nope. I'm out of here, buddy. I want no part of your shenanigans. The rare might be worth some XP here. Okay. That was something. Some monsters. That's something. That's a silver chest. That is a magic pack. Do I risk it? Risk it for the biscuit. No, I think we just get to... I think we just aim to get to the Upper Scepter of God and start farming mercs. To try out different mercs at low-level zones and see what's good and what's not. Okay, is that his fight? Nope, it's a domain crossing. Alright. So that means we've got at least one more zone to ding our level. Close, close. 95%? 97%? There we go. Level 33, Aspirant's Trial. We dinged it just as we go in. Alright, so with this passive point, I do the spend... some more on life. Let's do it. Almost 1,000 life. 998 life. I should have spent it on damage, shouldn't I have? Yeah, on increased damage. That would have been much more prudent. Much more wiser, much more smarter. Okay, he's going to shield charge there, which means he went over my traps. Aha! Just like I wanted him to. What if he just one-shot me there with the swipe? There's the Sunder. Whoa! There's the chill. There's the swipe. Okay, there's the shield charge. Get ready, the Sunder, the swipe. Okay. He's not leap slamming. That's interesting. Shield charging a lot. Okay, where's the swipe? There's the swipe. I got chills. Is he gonna swipe? He might. He might. Nope, he's shield charging. Okay, there's the swipe. No shield charge. No leap slam. Ooh. I hate that chill. The chilling effect is very, very unnerving. There's the swipe. Just pretend he's the Crab King. Keep moving in circular fashions, and down goes Azaro. Woohoo! Alright, we are now at the spot in time where we may ascend. Alright, so we go Luminary. Ascend. We go Mercenary, and minions deal 15% increased damage. 5% increased light radius. And Noble Blood. Alright, here we go. Let's go to the Upper Scepter of God and start farming. Alright, now the question is, from the Upper Scepter of God, or from the Scepter of God waypoint, what is the best way to actually farm a Merc? Do you actually want to go up? I think it's just the Scepter of God. It's not the Upper Scepter of God that you want to go to. Right? To find a Merc. So you want to actually find the stairway down from the waypoint. Go from the waypoint to find the stairs down. I suppose Mercs can still... They can still appear in Upper Scepter, but they're not guaranteed, right? There is a Merc that is guaranteed in the Scepter of God. So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for the guaranteed Merc. Okay, here's a guaranteed Merc, right here. This is called a Swift Blade. The Swift Blade uses a two-handed sword, is a Strength Dex-based character, uses Cyclone of the Empire, Rallying Cry, Trigger Blades, Vol Double Strike, Pride, and Dash. So let's hire this person. Is that like a General's Cry almost sort of set up there, where he creates clones of himself? Oh, what if we use... What if we use, not the Squire, what's the sword? What is the Cirrus sword? Oh, what's it called? I gotta look up Cirrus. What is his soul? Is it called the Soldier? No. Is it not Cirrus who drops the sword? The Savior. The Savior, not the Soldier, the Savior. Okay, so the Savior. What about this? What about using the Savior on a mercenary? Does Savior work on mercenaries? Because it creates a reflection, right? That'd be another copy of your mercenary. So could we wear Trepannan, equip two forms of this two-handers of the Savior? That would just be interesting. Okay, so notes. Uniques to try. We're adding the Savior in here. The Savior. One-handed sword. One-handed sword. That would be really interesting. If it works. If it actually creates a copy, right? Could be good. Alright, so we're going to have this guy. He seems to have frenzy charges up pretty frequently. Okay, so he joined us. What is the thing that gives him the frenzy charges? Is it Trigger Blades? What was giving him frenzy charges? Huh. Hits have a chance to ignore enemy physical damage mitigation. Yeah, I don't see anything that's like, hey, he's getting frenzy charges. Oh no, he's got lesser brutality on there, so no elemental damage is going to help him. Elemental damage is terrible for him. So that's something to be aware of. Okay, so Swift Blade. He creates these 2 copies. Where are the copies from? Okay, it's Vol Double Strike, each of which summons a double for a duration to continuously attack monsters in this fashion. So that's Vol Double Strike. I still don't see where he's getting frenzy charges from. Y'all see that? Like, he had frenzy charges. Huh. Okay, so let's go back here. And let's see what he's like in City of Sarn. Let's just see. Let's see what his abilities are like. Okay, so he casts the blades. He cyclones. While he's cycloning, it seems like he's kind of stuck cycloning. When he war cries, he gets the frenzy charges. It's when he war cries. Rallying Cry. Performs a war cry, taunting nearby enemies to attack the user and exerting subsequent attacks. Nearby allies get a buff based on the user's weapon. To me, it just looks like he's just giving himself frenzy charges. That's what that looks like. I like that he summons other dudes. That's kind of cool. And it seems like he's attacking more when we are possessed by the spirit. I think he's going faster. So I think our action speed, or this is an aura of some type that it affects players. But he looks like he's attacking faster, no? I think he is. Okay, we're going to end that poll. Because now we're on actually trying out different mercs here. So he can take 2-handers. He's already got brutality, right? Brutality's a brick for a lot of things. But if I give him limb split, I can't give him limb split because it's a unique. So I would need to be my next ascendancy before we can give him limb split. Okay, so that's this guy. Let's at least keep this guy around, and we'll keep progressing. And when we find another merc, we will swap over to that merc. Okay, so we've got this Swiftblade guy. I can give him no uniques until we get our second lab. So I think the play here to continue building out this build guide. Okay, I'm going to save it. I think the play here is to actually start to respec into an aura bot. Hear me out. It's to respec into an aura bot, so that way we can give a couple of probably more offensive auras, maybe 2 offensive auras, right? If we can get Champion of the Cause, that'll give us 18% increased. No. That's area of effect. This is 6 and this is 6. It's 12% increased effect and 8% reserved. So that means we could do 2 50%ers from the get-go And we don't need mana to cast anything. So I think that's the next play. And that allows us to basically pretend like we're an Aurabot and start trying out different combinations of mercenaries to see who's good with some boosts, right? Through the campaign. So let's go here again. And let's look. Let's see. Let's make our way towards the Upper Scepter of God and see if this guy is helpful for Dominus. Let's do that. This is going downstairs. Let's see how good his single target is, right? That's a valid question to ask how good his single target is. Also, we could probably give him some physical rings, because the 1-2 fire is doing nothing for him. So we could just go craft him some iron rings really quick. And that would already boost his damage. For flat damage. Huh. Oh, this is bliss. Okay, so let's get to Dominus. And then he's killing stuff. He is killing stuff. I would say I can pretty much just leave it to him to kill stuff. So I want to be using Pride, right? For increased physical damage taken, because he's using Brutality. So that's the way how I support him right now. Is by using Purity of Elements, so that way we don't get frozen. Oh, here's another Merc. Here we go. In the Upper Scepter of God. This is a Toxicologist. Withering Step, Caustic Shot, Chaotic Burst, and Chaotic Shot. LMP, Lesser Dot, Grace. Withering Step. Okay, interesting. I want to hire them. Let's put them in reserve. I want to see how much Grace gives us. How much base evasion Grace gives us at low level. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see that. Because this other guy doesn't have an aura.
Fine. You lead. I'll cover you.
Okay, so she went back, right? She didn't stick around. Because I think you have to have a full inventory before you can actually basically hire temporary mercs to stick with you. But I wonder how much Grace gives. Because that's the lowest level Grace can go. This is... Come on in. Yeah, bud?
I don't want to come see you. I wait for you. Wait till you watch the movie.
You can keep watching the movie. Okay, I'm coming up in a few minutes. But you can keep... How do you like it so far?
So far, so good.
Okay.
We had Jump and that I Super 2.
Oh, cool.
I haven't seen the movie, but I have seen the picture.
Okay.
I just want to watch it.
The kids have got the movie on pause for me. That's pretty nice of them. Okay, so let's see how good his damage... His damage? His damage? Let's see how good his damage is against Dominus. His damage is pretty good. I have given this guy 0 buffs. I'm giving him precision. I think that's it. I have given him 0 items. I'm giving him 0 auras. He's actually killing the boss. Is it super fast? Is he instantly blowing it up? No. But this is him with no gear. Okay, wait. So let's go give him some iron rings and let's go see. Now I'm genuinely intrigued. Can we give him... Oh, she doesn't have... Oh, she's got 2 right there. I could also gamble for iron rings. Oh, that's got physical on it. That's got double physical roll on it.
Watch yourself.
Okay, let's do that. Let's not put them right next to each other. That's a lot of life. That's some ints. Don't care about that. Don't care about the fire, so that means that I can craft flat onto it?
Check in with me when you have a moment.
Can I craft flat? Yeah, I can. This one we can't do. We need to make it a regale. Lightning we don't care about because he's got brutality. What do we want? I don't think anything else. Yeah, there's nothing else good on here for him. Well, he's got brutality on what? On Vol Double Strike. He doesn't have brutality on Cyclone. So that means Cyclone is actually capable of dealing elemental damage. So we'll do that. We'll do 2 flat sources of damage. And we will see what that does in the Dominus fight. Let's see. Alright, I am using no skills except my flasks. I am using no traps. I'm using no auras here to help the guy. We're just going to see. I accidentally threw a trap there. I was trying to flame dash? I don't even have flame dash. Why was I trying to flame dash? I usually play with flame dash on E. So I threw out a trap there. His clones kind of stuck around for a moment. Also, he's taunting Dominus. So Dominus isn't even attacking me. That's just kind of handy. I wouldn't say it's great, but I would say he's doing it on his own. And this is as low power as he will ever be. Okay, let's go get him a decent sword. Let's go gamble for him for a decent sword. He likes using swords. Let's go gamble a decent sword. Because you can gamble not only for items for you, but also for your mercs. Let's see. That's Fizz. It's Fizz and Ellie. That's just bad. Of course, we get a unique. Didn't mean to pull that unique. That's Crit Strike Multi and Crit Strike Chance. That might be the best weapon. I think that's the best weapon. What can I craft on there to give to him? It's going to be a huge upgrade from what he's wearing. This is what he's using right now. 31 to 65. 5 Crit Strike Chance, 135 attacks. This is the same 135. It's a little bit higher crit rate. We can add physical damage. We can add Flat Fizz. So we're going to add Flat Fizz, which is not good for mapping, but it is good early game. So we're going to throw this on him. And we're going to sell all the rest of this garbage. And we're going to go in and we're going to see what he does to Dominus' second phase. He's got no links. He's got no auras. I'm using Herald of Ash, Precision, and Clarity. Okay, his copies do damage. The Cyclone doesn't do so much damage, but his copies do damage. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay? Alright, and that's just the first merc that we found. This is the first merc that we found. So we have found the Vastin Roy. Alright, so he's a Swiftblade. Swiftblade. Okay, so we're going to make some notes here. Notes. Notes about mercs. Okay, the Swiftblade. Gamble. Notes about mercs. In campaign. In campaign. Act 3. Found one. Gamble for two-handed sword. And craft Fizz on rings, sword, Ami. Right? Decent damage. Decent damage. Easy Dominus. Right? That was pretty good. He's not great for, like, speed. But he does use his mobility skill to close the gap. So that's teaching us something about the mobility skills. They're not completely useless. It's not a completely bricked mercenary if it's a melee mercenary. Because, look, they use them to close the gap and then attack. I don't like his Cyclone. If you could find this guy without the Cyclone, where he's only using his Vol Double Strike. Also, I think the Warcry he uses a little bit. Maybe excessively. But it's like he prioritizes the Cyclone. But look at that. He's killing magic packs. Look at that. That's decent. It's not fast, but then again, I'm also not like rushing past this stuff. I'm not shield charging past all this stuff. There he goes with his Cyclone. And that took him a little bit. I bet if I gave him haste and pride, he would be significantly better, right? Haste and pride. Haste for the attack, cast, movement, speed. That single target's pretty good when he's got all his frenzy charges up. Wonder if you can, if you just use like a bunch of stuff that's got corrupted +1 frenzy charges on it. Right? Why not? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Right? Because he's going to be spamming himself with frenzy charges. You don't. That also frees you up from using specters that would demand you use frenzies on them. Okay, so this is my plan for tomorrow. My plan for tomorrow is to stream. And it's to do this pretty much most of the day, just testing out mercenaries, making notes, and building our compendium of mercenaries. I'm excited for it. Like, yeah, this is good. This is good. We are at the stage that we want to be at. I like it. I like how this is looking. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Thanks so much for everybody for joining us. I'm going to go eat some pizza and enjoy movie night with the kiddos. If you enjoyed the stream today, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can, of course, like and subscribe and ding the bell to be notified about future streams and videos, just like this one. If you want to be notified about all sorts of stuff, everything relating to G3, I post all sorts of different build guides, ideas. Basically, when I'm sitting around traveling somewhere and I'm thinking about PoE, I'm reading about PoE, I'm probably sharing links about it in our Discord, so you can always join our Discord for more conversations that are taking place about in-game stuff and PoE stuff outside of game on our G3 Discord. Thank you again to all of our Patreon supporters who help make streams like this happen. The lighting, the camera, the microphones, all this sorts of stuff is all provided for by you as Patreon supporters. So thanks so much for joining us today, and I look forward to catching you, hopefully, Lord willing, tomorrow during our stream where we're going to test out some more mercs. And if somebody this bad can feel that good, imagine what somebody who's good can feel like. Is that bad? All right, I'll catch you tomorrow, everybody.